your party thought otherwise and changed him. I mean, then a lawyer and Ebabe contested on your ticket. Does that fundamentally change BB on your side?
BB, party on its own, and BB imposing our on our members in Akwetia. Party in eco process to select one of many who believe that they can serve the people of Akwetia. And I did one choose so back, which at the end of the day, party na je tumwa yedi call for the election. And a party na and they choose, we are not just imposing a candidate on them. Two, say where your parliamentary candidate, the former MP, the lawyer. In fact, I don't know for any MPP for the campaign. But could maybe MPP candidate, the personal lawyer, the same NDC candidate.
I see.
Yes.
Interesting.
The personal lawyer, the business piano, the lawyer, no. So he's more closer to this MPP candidate, because candidates in Ankasa will say, or per debate, I'm a business, the VPR cost, a star lawyer. In the candidate way, MPP couple 82 say is the best for the constituency. In terms of saying the lawyer, dear, we've gone past a short-term process. Not that time or no. Then candidates now were general secretary of the party. So, or take that responsibility as a constituency secretary. Our lawyer and in a war fighting among the candidates at that time. But the bad lawyer, Jumadia, the personal, the client, and your friend say MPP candidate of the constituency. BB is because they are by elections. By elections are fresh elections. So usually you get new faces for that elections. With the person we are presenting at a party, we believe he said the party people believe in him and they will work towards to support him to win elections. And we are clear. So with the candidate and our performance,
what kind of campaign am I? House to house, rallies? Again, how are you approaching this election or the campaign?
About elections are process. Election is a process, an event.
No correct.
Inti will approach the brave. I won't manage process, be able to achieve what you want. And don't be body, want to be tuned. That's the word. But at the end of the day, we'll engage the voters of Kutia to be able to get the result that we want on 2nd September.
I said, when I'm modern,
I'm penny message, I'm penny now do, and my message I use so. I'm penny now do, echo just in 2024. But I'm more primary, I'm by elections. And it's uncontested. Not independent candidates and a contest against MPP. And now Donium call for now MPP for the catcher of say. So I'm try independent candidates and they want to mean bear or more embassy for Juma essay for only a in Tomo to Abamon to my diabetes me I'm protect because I buy also no a now do I buy government I buy also MPP I buy. Into the support to about based on that because will be a punto and will be a pay. Oman penin now the year and ya quenya a share a consumer in my info. I want our presidency. Omo bisa punto Juma or catch up say more to Abano. I can say moon pepper to Juma no more to Abama NDC MP. Even by a home because Sana system nete. That message you now do a catch say. The emphasis message you are so Akwetia. Akwetia for so Epebia, but to me, I did point to Juma back constituency. In 2020 to 2024, member of parliament now, now we're NDC, now MPP now also. They be also excuse and now buying this into Juma means me for point to member. Equity amounts to some opportunity. Now, coupon and I say in that day, and offers opportunity. Now, the president and the government are also in DC, the core elections. Equity for a year, say, we be I'm a excuse, and answer of the audit point in Geneva. I'm a point in Geneva because recently, DC, former DC, away 8 years, ewa Equity. Sunday, we work, no. Wakachira say, Nenti Aman Timia in your project because we need MP as a MPP as MP. That's why they couldn't do the project in Akutia. On Lankasan, Nenti Aman Timia in your project because we need MP MPP. So they were relying on the NDC consortium chairman to organize demonstration. Now, Muntiminya development project in Akutia. So this same person, say, your campaign no. Then can't you say, a Benya MC, I the government there. Member of parliament from the government. So that I did one team and here at the DC for 8 years, no. Because only MP, no. Yen team twice in any year.
Is that to say, sir? Is that to say, Madi? Is that to say, sir? A Kobase MPP we near NDC Mufa development in Kwakwetiana because Omuni.
The issue is that but the MP no Ankatano, they will not wish the success of NDC government in the constituency. Bibi what you say?
Mitipa.
Because the corner here, because NDC didn't ever. Also, Obama said government will pass to 2028. So, Papa abroad ni bay, Obama abroad said, "My Juma Papa in the name of the government." And that is the situation. Go all the MPs, MPP, over here now. I'm pay upon saying my NDC in society. I'm qualified to meet now. I'm more upon pay say, a national day of doom so. I'm upon pay say, I'm Brasso. People who are in parliament, I hear no are working out. Can you go now and bring up a simple democracy in this constituency? It is not the intention of government, but the confounding council never politics. The MP no say when you NDC near, or the bear politics because of some say or per se in the future in the government emblem. So bro, I'm a government in the end koso ewo. And I'm an example of the DC, the immediate past DC of Akutia. What can I say? Nentia one team and yet road. I was Takraseno because NDC MP and also one TB one because I don't know NDC MP. On one a year on Nipo. And come government MP and they could have done it without problem.
But you are aware, sir, for saying that Nanado and the MPP were severely punished. Sir, they will be by amount to Amano, Intina development and by they were severely punished for that.
No, that is why they voted. That is why they voted more MPs for us in 2024. Because they don't want to have that excuse again.
The question
so
is
has come to people of Akwetia. Say mo punto and as mo pedi obekotina yoko form and obeko friends demonstration. And don't the workout no be at this 3 years now kanu. When I no 3 years of a government in power. And yet try lock issue there kanu.
Can we ever develop a mind way regardless of near our power and near the party or power? You bet me do.
Oh, yeah, do. Yeah. Oh, me see, yeah, as a government, yeah.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Eye nokre, we confirm ya mama a. Enim se no akofa kwan no so eye nokre se ekwan amoye sankochina moye oye chire contractor back so a oye adwuma enu nti ye ne se esimo nko demonstration ni bi.
Yo, mama na ase na ye nchia oni watiefo nyina EpaHoaDaben fi dikesi. The can say ye nka wo ba bia da se ye be ye demonstration. Na mum na ye say ye sit down strike. Na ye nya mu sɛnea ebi mo ɛyɛ remo ne nam kuro mu sɛ yɛse biribi saa no a yɛbɛtu saa nammɔ no yɛnyɛ anyɛ ɛnte saa adramafoɔ yɛnka no baabi asa da.
But sit down strike is a form of demonstration, though.
One say you crow way muno. Okoka demonstration asɛm a yɛsɛ we informing police. Yes, we any policy any asetena bia nti deɛ na yɛyɛ ka ne sɛ nka poku ase nka nsawam kumase kwantempɔn no na efiri yawada ɛkɔ no yɛde ne yɛ aka koraa sɛ nsesa bia maso a ɛnya adeɛ sɛ yɛbɛfa so biem koraa kɔpem sɛ yɛbɛhu sɛ yɛsiesie yɛnyina soɔ ne sɛ nsuyiri apie wɔ Israel no wapɛn so no bibi sɛ bia ama Ghana ha na de ne yɛka ate nsuo ani sɛ no wahyɛn ɛni nti na yɛse yɛne kwan na yɛ aka koraa na yɛka saa asɛm no ma aban na awɔtwe mekyerɛ road minister na awɔtwe no ɛna nnora nsɛntwerɛfoɔ aka me yɛate sɛ aban no mekyerɛ ministry no atu anamo ama contractor no akɔ kwan no so na bibi yɛate saa nkɔmmɔ no akyɛ abrɛw yɛn nim koraa no 33 years ni ɛna yɛadaadaa yɛa sɛ wobɛboa me na yɛakɔ yɛakyi kakra free yɛwura the late Dr. Kwesi Botwe so any former president the late Jerry John Raritan so every year me pa chaw akwaya hodoɔ bɛyɛ sɛ dubi wonte wɔ budget no
constantly
mame mo bi nkyerɛ wɛ me ka na wɔn so bɛboa ka yɛ ne bi akyerɛ wɔn mpa chaw akwaya yɛ friend fufum so Sora road
is akwaya and me sure said only the most popular road
mɛbɔ biem ne yɛbɔ a wobɛka sɛ bi nso ɛka ho
okay
mepa kyɛw bɔɔdeɛ nkwanta asankragua inche road ɛno nso wonte na afi bia ɛyɛ bogoso pristia road wonte eastern corridor road wompa yɛyɛ ne nsɔ so
Ghana for ɛyɛ Ethiopia
eastern corridor road ɛno pa ho a ɛyɛ Swami interchange afi bɛɛ ne ma budget ɛyɛ Anwuraga junction interchange mpacho ɛfɛkyɛ Singapore deɛ no wofiri hɔ a ɛyɛ Brekum Jandede Gyengyene Drobo Jape Krom road every year yɛte wɔ budget team Wenchi Sampa road yɛte enti sɛ nnɛ wobɛka kyerɛ yɛ sɛ poku ase deɛ past 7 years ni yɛte wɔ budget team da biara ɛma yɛma mpanyin koraa no nya akukuduro ne kyerɛ ɔma mpanyin dada gyina mmarahyɛ badwa mu wonim sɛ hɔ asɛm bi a wobɛka wɔ hɔ biara no ɛnyɛ campaign platform so ɛyɛ House of Records ɛka kyerɛ sɛ wɔayɛ more than 10,000 kilometers of roads bibi na wɔ kuro wei mu sɛ menka wo ne watiefo a saa da no na ɔde ne nsa ɛhyɛ n'ani akyi fii n'ani ɛkyerɛ yɛ no wokae
ɔsi efi ɛni ni ebi hunu
na me ba road akora se wayɛ n'anim no te sɛ deɛ wasɛ nkwara agorɔ saa da no 10,000 kilometers from Aplawu ekosi Paga from Aplawu ekosi ɛyɛ Alibo mpaakyɛ wo keka ne nyinaa bɔ mu a ɛduru 3,000 kilometers nti susuan paa sɛ 10,000 kilometers ya pa okro we mu a ndika pokuase nsawam stretch we nke bedu nkomo awie ya skame wo ya jaye ho ye ko eno na am ye ni abre se na da na ya dozo every year kwan ye bobo so yi e ba budget mu a ye sa kasika dozo po ye twa ade ato ho enya sa owura Dr. Ato Forcing e ba ye saa kwan ya yɛ bobɔ so ya wanka sɛ yɛtwa ho sika da hɔ ɛni nti kwan no wei bibi kwan no wei
aban sɛ contractor ba back to site ɔtua sika bia ɔde ohia de ama no ɛnɛ wato sika de dini akyerɛ how a ɔtua sɛ sika no ɔsɛ kwan no deɛ saa mmere deɛ aban kyɛfa no wayɛ awie still amungye ndi sɛ ɛte saa
bibi me no ka sɛ aban ma order say ya no apa ye mechi ya ye be wie nkomo mpo ni ache
eno de so wani tua
na obi a yama ne sika na wase ma fa sika no aba se o matua ka awie nti no ano no asɛm wo yɛka kyerɛ hwan ɛni nti yɛ de kuro na yɛ tim no bibi unimu bia yɛ abɛma mimi na obi antan obi o metan asɛ mentan nipa ɛna menka nkurɔfoɔ na sabi asɛm a ɛbɛboa ɔmamu no da hɔ na ɔmo te social media so firi bi abayɛ si yɛnya beef na bibi ne yɛ abɛma ɛko dabi menka ho me deɛ no mentokwa no yɛ deɛ yɛ ɛko yi bi
ya sɛneɛ wo kyerɛ aban ahodoɔ adaadaa Ghanafoɔ ɛwɔ akwantempɔn ahodoɔ so na wakyerɛ mu sɛ saa ndaadaa na yɛatra hɔ ɛntoa so biem neɛ ɛda yɛ anim a yɛdi ho nkɔmmɔ anka wɔkyena mote ɛho ntasukɔkɔɔ de akyerɛ aban no aban sɛ wɔ release 809 million Ghana cedis ɛde ama contractor still wowɔ GDA problem wɔ ho but yɛama membusa ɛnɛ wapɛni akɔ kwan no so akɔyɛ sɛ mpampaa contractor wɔ kwan no so anaa
mpakyɛw yɛma aban no atu yawada
okay
nti mo aka me yate nti yɛyɛ ne sɛ yawada no yɛyɛ driverfoɔ a yɛfa saa kwan no so yɛde yɛhyɛ nyinaa esi fie na yɛabɔ anan akɔ kwan no so yɛkɔ na sɛ contractor no wɔ so ampa na yɛhu sɛ yɛasɛm na yɛkaeɛ no aban atie ne yɛbusa contractor ne sɛ ɛhe na ɔde ama yɛ a yɛfa a ɛnha na adwuma no koraa yɛbɛtumi afa so kɔpem sɛ ɔbɛwie na adwuma no de ama yɛn na da yɛwada no nso so ne yɛkɔ yɛde yɛhyɛ no si fie ne yɛkɔ no obiara ni so a ɛfiri saa yɛwada no ɛkɔ no deɛ yɛne kwan no ayɛ aka koraa mpaakyɛ woahu yɛasɛm no sɛneɛ yɛyɛ no
na kyerɛ sɛ mo deɛ moate muhunu yɛ nti neɛ mo se mobɛyɛ no ne deɛ moyɛ a mobɛyɛ
bibi adɛn na ɛno no ɛyɛ mo ya sɛ adɔbafoɔ yɛnko a yɛsɛ yɛde da koro ɛsi hɔ ahwɛ yɛ akwan a ɛnyɛ aka ho asɛm a mompɛ sɛ yɛbɛyɛ
menyɛ sure sɛ obi sɛ ma mo nyɛ busa na bibusa mu pɛ sɛ wosi so
busa no saa na wo nua mo nyinaa busa sɛ asɛ yɛyɛ adeɛ bi a yɛtiri mu ɔden to the extent sɛ yɛmpɛ ɔma no yɛ daa bi nyɛ ne saa wonim sɛ me ne wo kasa yi yɛnnua mo a apply ɛyɛ budumbram kaasoa budumbram ɛkɔ Winneba Junction ɔmo nso abɛbɔ yɛ amanneɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ kaasoa mesrɛ nsɛwɔmfoɔ nko a na ɛnya ɔmo nso te ɔmo nka ɛwɔ budget mu ɔmo yɛ contractor ɔso nti yɛwada na ɔmo nso tena fie yɛnnua mo efiri bogo so kɔ Pristia ɔmo afrɛ yɛ anɔpa yi ara sɛ deɛ yɛ kafa Happy FM so na ɔmo ate bi ɔmo nso kwan no kɔn ɔmo nso tena fie me ne wo kasa yi Abrɛkuma Asalaja saa enclave wɔ no so ahu kwan a ɔmo nam so suhum tukofoɔ dua awie yɛ a ɔmo nso mpanyimfoɔ a da yɛ no ɛwɔ hɔ no afrɛ yɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ yɛn nko a ne yɛnya ɔmo nso ka ho bi enti adeɛ no sɛ atra akɔyɛ nationwide
ɛsɛ deɛ wokan deɛ na kyerɛ sɛ yɛwada the economy would grind to a halt amanfoɔ ntimi nkɔ mma adwadifoɔ ntimi nkɔ mma anɛsefoɔ ntimi nkɔ mma teacherfoɔ ntimi nkɔ mma yɛn nyinaa yɛbɛka fie anaasɛ deɛ yaw
mpakyɛw adwumakuo mmienu bi a wabɔ ɔmo din ɛyɛ me de pa ba memfa ɔmo nyɛ nsusu dua wontua wo ba school fees ma teacher ni nka sɛ na allowance bi nti ɔntrɛ fie ma akora no mɛtrɛ fie mepakyɛw naano yi a nɛɛsefoɔ sɛ ɔmo pɛ ayie nsa abɔdeɛ ɛho allowance ɔmo ntrɛ fie bosome baako a ma nipa bebree nwu wɔ kuro wei mu enti yɛn nso yɛtena fie one day na yɛayɛ yɛ kwan ama yɛn na yɛankokum nipa wɔ kwanfo no so no ɛno deɛ wosi yɛ class economy nɛɛsi na ɔtena fie mu a obi odidi ma amansan di bie na wododo na owu yɛ no ɔnka hyɛ economy
na yɛ one day ne den na ɛde bɛba
mpakyɛw sɛ na wiase nyinaa hu yɛ haw ebi a yɛka a ɛyɛ poku ase deɛ ɛpɛ yi ɛno pɛ na Ghanafoɔ ahu o si yɛka ho asɛm nyɛ na yɛnnua mu a ɛwɔ drɔbo gyengyenifoɔ nso asɔre yi ɛno nti sɛ yɛwada de yɛn nyinaa yɛde si hɔ a meyɛ sure sɛ MMDC yi a ɔmo si aban naa mu ministers esi aban naa mu wɔ all over the region no obiara de ne report including national security ɛbɛma minister na hu sɛ saa ha ne ha ne ha yɛwɔ problem wɔ hɔ bibi yɛn ne sɛ yɛyɛ mo aban ɛma resetting Ghana agenda no ɛnyɛ no a ne yɛkɔ so no
EpaHoaDaben ti Sinupi na no kre eye baako pe. EpaHoaDaben ti Sinupi na no kre eye baako pe.
EpaHoaDaben. Say it again.
Epa
EpaHoaDaben.
Daben. Now together EpaHoaDaben.
Awesome.
EpaHoaDaben.
Baby,
Simon.
when you say first na ye binumu ye shut down pe politics. Ye say politics for no man your money and your money. But na mumu e binumu so nti enyina ye ni agi say ye bebo ama o man na koso. Na e bo 1 o'clock pe na wa ye lawyer ama o man na lawyer for enyina pon akofia koda. Nyamishra.
EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben ti Sinupi na no kre eye baako pe.
Ejumadene ahofama osompane nimia omei bitumpong na yema ibenya hoto Ghana oso ye ofa omai Ghana beye omei bitumpona efree Oh my God, be ye, oh my betu pona, be free, Ejumadene ahofama, Also ya wofa. Also ya wofa. Oh my God, na be oh na otu nwumu ibi no na usa busa ho se o chefa a ewo oman chichiri mu no eye de ade a wo de ni sen obi chefa so obema Ghana anya ne ntuma pafra ne se obesori anopa bia no akọ school no afa ne chalk no chera de obi nso ne chefa ene se obekọ hospital na wa hye ne uniform se nurse ni se doctor se mortician na ono nso akosom oman no ewo ne kwan so obi chefa ene se obesode anopa na watena abobo ya mu na ode pin pon bola no wasesa de ko obi nso chefa no so you can imagine say de be che anopa na sa boy say say bola man e omuni ho we can't bear it. Omusu chafano no. Ebi awo de ne se obekwa koto nua na carpenter wabobbo mu no abo empa ne nkonwa ne table so de amamanfo. Obi chafane se obekwa kogina border so no make sure se nipa bonifo bia em sleepy in number mu. Obi ni chafane se obegina airport no waye customs adwuma hwese niema a eba wo man ni mu no contraband bi anim taxes also mutuomatua obi echafane se ono nso be hye ne uniform no wanante Ghana mountain so na wahwe wone a edi bone na watu omo so sa obi chafane se obetena ne taxi mu no atu na ode nam krom mo amokọ adwuma mo amokọ school ene baby a wo kobia ne de ne se ono nso be na mu na agya wo fa nkrofo no je kakra ono nso bedie obi chefa ene se obesoa asana anopa 8 o'clock no de na mu na obi nso subrodo di na chie no ma begina happy fm anim ha na wo moton because I see me and I'm a producer himself. I'm wondering what she's thinking. To walk about whom you now don't be cancer more. Maybe all the media may would there. I see me who know. When I work as a coher boys, you know, I much did they be bachelor boys. Mugua sana no sa what sort of more to me, I'm catching all. Obi so dear no. Obi so asade wo man chichire ni mu ene se wo besoa fruits na wo hia bi so waton bi dia ma wo amembusa se wo chefa no wo hunu wo de na wo ye ne sen obi a wo biribi a wo ye but wo de no wo ye ne sen taxi driver wo ye wo de ne sen ena wo tena ka mu no o support for Ghana's economy akwese mbukata na wubu nkofo ofaso maami a wosesa ne ma besi kwa ho a woton wo ye adwuma ne sen mebusa sa because ye ka on mind gross domestic product ye fa ni GDP a eye me eye wo eye asumesi obenten ani obi ankra bia adwuma wo beye de biara da wo besoro no pakoso anwumre ne wo ye ya edisika ba economy ni mu eno ne yeka ni nyina abom so o man GDP nti GDP no ofom a aya no abusa se wo kọ adwuma o ministries no upon time ben wo ko do time ben na wo ko do ye in a day adwuma ben pa na betimi quantify se me buy ye ma process documents baby a 50 anase metimi endorse forms baby a 100 adwuma ben pa na wo ye eya obusa ho ana so woko adwuma na pon na okofia do you assess or contribution that day ana a lot of workers don't do a lot of us yeko adwuma na pon ya pon but we don't take stock of a danankasa ne yaye your contribution to organization ye mu adwuma and it is so because ye mo bebre so we don't set targets for ourselves Inti say what catch ho say enne me madwuma me ye ne say me make sure say forms bi e beba manimu bi abekọ the next desk. Na what time ho say enne metimi aye be process forms be 50. What set target amount ho. Taxi driver set target amount ho. Enye target na enye nyina ne say passengers dodo abefa. Also timi set target amount ho say enne customer bia na passenger bia mefa ne bia may a deliberate effort to say me ne be kasa obuo kwan so. Target ni bi. Target ni bi. Ura o man bi mu a one of the key ambassadors of Samai no ono mo betimi aboa wo amo hunu o man no o madwene o mindset se ne o madwene tie se de o modwene ene wo mo niema a wo mo ye. One of the key ambassadors of every country taxi drivers. Busa ne bia untu kwan. Taxi drivers, they are the first internal ambassadors of every nation. And then Busa say, "O taxi na utwin is saying, utwin is saying the aboa the reset agenda." Have you reset yourself? And now what that's so ye na we na. Washe singlet taxi driver no washe singlet nkwa na washe nika no kura washe wasan boxer fin na washe slippers na washe che na wo de sa singlet ni nika ya eno no de nam wo de ye taxi adwuma de koba o sorry anopa so okọ adwuma na ho fama no eno na adwuma ben na aye ne sa no obi adwuma okolebu pharmacy asori anopa botai kama ne backpack bonachi asem we da meka akwa pharmacy wono mo a wo ye adwuma aduro na ye de aba no akwhye store room ena obi enaka no so ena box bia otwetwe mu baako odigu ni backpack mu enkoto se nwumira obepon na kire se wa wie nduro a wo de kogu ono ane pharmacy no okoton ne amankrofo. Is that the way you are contributing to resetting Ghana? Ask yourself. And then me kwa adwuma ben pa na me ye. So wo kwa adwuma kobo okro no a. Time I will take stock no wo so tibu aka kire wo. And then me kwa me je bribe say you should have that thing. Also analyze your day. Krono dodo a boy in a day. Bribe dodo a wo gi in a day. Nkrofa wo shed that frustrating wo mo say be yo metu abribe ama wo. That is your input. Adwuma wo ye that day no. Na wo wie no man ne nkora ni mu a eya enkonkobuso obi abusa wo ho. Busa ho what to court judicial service and a bribe no wagye saa. Enso still wonye yie. Wo judicial service ni mu and a wagye bribe saa. Still wo shoot worry wontimi to shoot foforo. Doesn't it tell you so bribe na nya no na be mu ayi ana? O bo mine form. Adwumaden ene ahofama pa. Unsu ye ofa, mensu meye me fa. Bedine Bismark Brown obetimi afra me bibi. Me da se awie se wa ma me kwan na mabawura wo ka mu. Me da se awie yo. Se wa ma me kwan bawura wo office be bawura wo shop ti wo fie na awie na me ne wo ba be som oman Ghana. EpaHoaDaben dwumadi ni. What me kan radio so abetimi so ehunu manim live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on X Spaces. I am live on TikTok right now. Bra. Then come on so yemfa hihye so ni. Regis trend you know. Fitinra, in fact, 50 weekend you know. Ralph Williams at it again. And then we are being told by the Minister of Health, say, yachi ni pani bia, womokoye, I am ransomono, our Ridge Hospital. But we'll look at the bigger picture. Maybe Chief Minister na boso de nene. In fact, the health workers themselves, our Ridge. Almost say, na minister obi attack our staff, nurse ni. Na wafa semuni serious na utomu ba ya. Onipa na o assault to nurse no woni ni gina ho sresere. It was out to inside. I said, "Ben, I was catching." Minister said there was no point escalating tensions. An order had been made. Then, say police for every woman, yes, I bonnet on the enchi woman, a brown. Subsequently, the minister tells us, say, at least one person has been picked up. But who is that person? Minister Nantimi Ambudi. Is it the main perpetrator of this assault who is Rav Williams? Yenina yehunu video na or titinu who go anese for na doctor for sunana. And any of those boys are no on your monamono. Ebi a question the relevance of minister no kwa or radio hospital hokrampo. And are asking questions about hospital administration or omajuma esi omanusu omo yankasa. But video ni ba bontine no so here there were police officers be a video ni mu. On the day boys no call emergency unit ho a womo ekwatete omo hugu anese force me be assault nurse for ni bi no. Hospital authorities ni free police for we saw 2 in the video. But that day they didn't arrest anybody. Nurse ni ba ko say yabono o si ni phone so ye wia ana ni sika so call now ode share call on there is also an inherent problem your health delivery system and we cannot deny the fact to say indeed there are times oko hospital ukra emergency ahonkeka a doctor for ne nurse for e de beba we emergency ni so any ahofama wo de beba so seriousness on be show the sense of urgency a wo hwe nimu no eya mpempi no ye hunu ne saa nti eya adwene se ida se adwuma no mo person beye omo person di hye ni bewu ana se wo mu nim so obewu nti no wo mo ye last saa and it is frustrating for obi a oyare serious edu hospital say odi di panaba hospital na ase ye be ye nye ase ye ba ye ma uhunu ne ekọ obi anka hwenkyerɛw. So I can understand the frustration, but in the midst of that frustration, is it right and fair say obe abuse health workers na say obe di o matem say obe go to the extent say obe get physical obe tene wonsa abobaako. Obia can understand the frustration. But see nyina say be call hospital ni akwakobo a nurse for because ye person omo ye adwuma in a particular way no omo nya pacho can we survive in this nation? We ye ni nkomo why? Ye mon komo. Every say mo ya we say His Excellency the President Edenani atre Japan and Singapore. Na Japan okoye no ne ade esi nani so kase ne se apart from summit awoko no obesan so atwe investors e de aba Ghana. International President Mahama Shia eye investors a ewo Japan. Na ensemini bi ode to omanim as Orton ne mine, and you know he's a chief marketing officer of Ghana. Into or pitch ne mine or pitch Ghana to Japan investors na womuhunu business opportunities e wo mani mu no mo fom sika embehye mani mu. Na President Mahama Kasemu na asemu o kan ye ne se ene aye headline stories e number bia o say ampa na no emu te ya Ghana yesika no na enye kra na yesidi no aye hata say na nanado kan no Ghana sidi no na hom kanim na gidie nim ahode nim. But in your catch investors no. Also for those of you who know the history of the Ghanaian cedi, it's been one of the most volatile currencies in Africa, and a few years back we were said to be the worst performing currency. I am happy to announce that this year the Ghana cedi has been the best performing currency in the world. Unquote President John Dramani Mahama. Mampani ekachire investors of Japan say Munim Ghana cedi ni say in fact e can currencies of Africa wo mo de mu nyedu a Ghana cedi ni kan ho. Esa sasa da bia foreign currencies ne bono. But also the NGA air catcher investors he said afiwe Ghana cedi no the best performing currency in the whole world. Onene ya juniana. Ebi say artificial. Ebi say a hard work and deliberate policies. Can we sustain this 10 cities here? They be city na ho den na. Sustainability. But then we'll talk to Dr. Evans Nunu, who will help us understand near Mampani Kane. Mampani Kano, one quote a rating agency be, and answer research institute be, ekase one more research on my year, and answer one more analysis on my year, and I judge Ghana cedi as the best performing cedi or the best performing currency in the world. What's the source of that information? Is there a research beer? I compare currencies in the world. About that conclusion, say, you hear a wiase currencies, a wiase kanina. I feel we Ghana cedi no, and the best performing pa. We didn't get that clarity from what the president told the investor community. But we all can. You know, so be to make the one dance say, Tina may mui, a buy for free buy. No question when they say, Yehunu. A remarkable improvement of cedi na ho den in terms of stability crown so no idea cedi no ba be 10 cedis ho no agina ho no mo consistently a check. Is it enough say ye betimi de to ye ho say per sa consistency na ya choke ene sa currency strength na ye cedi na nya no by that intino ye cedi no ene the best performing currency in the world. Afia na. Don't forget, we are 8 months into the year. We've done more than half of the year. Inti or the casa afia. You can accept the fact to say we shall send you consistent. You bet me the afine we are cedi na sujina 10 cities. Inti ye din hun komo ne abo hun komo. From where you sit, ebi ana ye trader, ebi a odi dwa, ebi a osuso odi sika ye adwuma. When a man penny ya adwene, what to kwan, what have other currencies in a hodene, Wobe Kase a yampa, yen cedi no, and the best performing currency in the world so far this year. Send a man penny e canana. But His Excellency the President also goes ahead. I'm going pay investors abano, or chirawomo, the kind of business climate I Ghana. Environment and for your business woman, it is saying. Omude omusika ba are they assured say emrabe bomo investment ho ban omude womo investment ne ba anye bia no inflation 70 saying cost of doing business and kasan so et saying any investors will tell you say oba be set up business or Ghana wan hwa obewie no regulatory requirements ne frustrations a woman bribe ye bejeje wo no wan hwa na o capital kura akodi the setting up and even regularizing of business numpo. Enti ebinim aka say cost of business doing business or Ghana na e soro. Hwe lending rate, hwe interest rate. Ni nyina ka ho bi investor community no ejina san e so e take a decision. But the president is saying say beyond sa indicators nyina no. Japanese investors ne hwe say Ghana has access to almost a $1.9 billion market. Inti womo be set up for Ghana. And yet the Ghanaian market in Unko serve. There is a huge African market through after omo betimi enso so akono makwenye skadie free ho no more. Are you comfortable with the kind of business climate I war as the president has painted it? Yede ye ofie Japan for no ho. Near team mu hey. Business for utie gutafo nsem ayo mo ka. Na nui omo fiase kasaba the interest rate. Is the business environment really friendly the way a president painting no ewa bontene na yeni nkomo ye mo nkomo obekire wadwene ewo ho na edi akwatia enso eho enkomo and you know say akwatia by election no etete ekire he ya 2nd September ya na by election no eba so and so adea the two leading political parties, the NPP and the NDC, edi omani akire akwatia pa. But the question we ask and we say, what is actually the value of this akwatia by-election? What is the value? And mibusa the value because of the way Mrashebe numbers no etieno. More for one more seat for the NDC will not change anything. One more seat for NPP. So what is the real worth and value of the Akwatia by-election? And of course, we'll continue to ask the question, message being political parties no edenam Akwatia. And the NDC, Deputy Director of Elections, Kasai Ma Jibril, and yene Evans Nimako or no Director of Elections for the New Patriotic Party, and should be doing Komoni Busa. From the MPP's perspective, Akwatia outlook on it is saying more campaign message being or denam, and grounds on it is saying, is there hope so make me retain seat, you know? And that bigger question of what is the real value of this election to the NPP and to the NDC. You want to be part of our convo? We are joining in. Na yenisa enkomoi enyinada. Emre na so see ade yenkura nhesem ebro enra fa che se yentimi enfa nkura nhesem no amba. It is time to get motivated. Yemfa nkura nhesem no emra na yenko enhye yehu nkura Joyce. So I krado de a nkura nhesem enie.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Morning, morning. Morning show na jijini petimache. Well, our afternoon message of motivation and every yefa every Oliver Goldsmith. Oliver Goldsmith. Na Oliver Goldsmith ya mekana semi. He was born in November 1728, exactly on 10th November 1728. Sata na mimi ne mamne papa kura nhia ne omkura mse ne wo mu. Na owu April 4, 1774 at the age of 45 years. One chakra. London, United Kingdom. Ena yawo no wanso ena owu ye. Na Oliver Goldsmith said, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Mrs. Subim, our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Wow, that is nice. Glory, eye animunyam she. Na onipa bia no ne Oliver pa kire ne se onipa bia wanimunyam she kase pa no enye emra watofom dabi otofom a woni animunyam enyina ye gitum asem to a woni animunyam animguase bi to a woni animunyam eka bi beda wo so a animunyam bi anim eya samre no ena nipa boto but onipa wanimonyam hyepa no ene emra oto fom no wanka fom na mom original wo na so eho ena nimonyam hye no ewo sa statement me when su kira it is also telling you say as for the falling it will come nku ahwe ase no ebeba disappointment no ebeto animguase ne beba eka ne beba obelusu wadwuma odofo beja wo ho awade ne betimi agu. Those are your down moments that you are assured challenges of life eka brabo no ho. Nobody ever promised you a rosy life. Eno de obi ka kire wo sa brabo a obeboyi ebeye totin ebeye smooth unshia problems bia, unshia challenges bia nipa no wadada o. No kura wo mu ne say challenges ne beba, obe hwe fom, obe bo fom, capital ne be hye, adwuma ne be gu, ye de obekwa koto afiase, ye betwa ntrato so, enema ni bi wo ho a wo ankasa wo be big mistakes. You lose investment. Yes, you will fall. But you see, otofomwa kai se enyina ho bi wo ho wo legs wo se wo sorry gina so na wotimi gina wo na so emra watofomwa wotimi sorry gina wo na so emra abraba bo wa hwe ho a wotimi sorry gina wo na so biem emra business na guo na wotimi san pagya wo mu biem ehye foforo however small it may be a ɛhɔ ɛna animonyam hyɛ kɛseɛ no ɛwɔ. And so we are encouraged. So there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Ne hia ne sɛ give it up. Bible ne kan or say the righteous will fall. In fact, the operative word we use is shall. Or say the righteous shall fall. How many times no kan mo amukwa Sunday school no 70 ahen 7 times. 7 times. Where should I say 7? The righteous shall fall 7 times. But one man si or say, but he shall rise again. Enti onyankopon no kura ka kire wo se ahwease ne de udi gariboto okosoroba fom ahwease ne beba nkugodie ne beba awerehosem ne beto odofo no bewu yade ne beba na momu o se esoriye ewo ahwease achi menka ho menna ho eden etoda bi a utimi hwefom na efom ho kra nso asan beye wo de because memfa ne saa yempemasem me ana me penam koba ne saa nti yetimi ka ho ehotimi bedane your comfort zone because you are finding some solace in areho ba mesre wada se enye eho ne wotena bia enye eho ne wodabre ene se obetimi enya kukuduro kakra na wahunu se ahwease achi eye enyina hode a ene na sister fiase picking up the pieces fiase sorry kakra sorry na eden pa ene no kura wo mu no eden picking up again and not from people will not trust you. People will still look at you with doubt. And for be rejecto. Yes, but pick it up. Kakran. Obe say jina wo na so biem. Na hade bio. So wotimi say jina wo na so biem a. Obe hu say wono mu ana wo mu to wo twene. Wono mu ana wo mu hunu se biribi pa bi wo mu no. Sa nkrofo de nyina be say ma betwa wo ho ahia. And that is the glory. The greatest glory. Oliver Goldsmith eka ho asem. And to say our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Every time you fall, you must rise. And yet sometimes, every time we beto from assembly beto, our assembly besi, kwana ne bia bekombia ahwiase, but sam ahwiase no, every time ebesi no, every time you must rise again. So original one also. Or say weeping may endure for a night, but what? Joy cometh in the morning. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Naturally say osunu de beba areho ne beba na momu ade bechi ama wasre. Menu hye unkran, menu nkenya wo na babia wakoto no, babia wakohye no, fiase pra. Dust yourself off. Shower mu dware papa bi ene to perfume papa gu ho na shower tade papa bra kan ye wadim kama awraho nti uyi uti kura che wadim nyina kusu abrabo so abofo no kura ba besra kura de yembesa hye no da bi obi wo hono mu wa hyede mu because of broken heart, because of disappointment. Be ye 1 month ni wontimi mpie enim guase bi nti wontimi mpie wi me ba be hye unkran eye wo mre a wate ahwe ni o na momo no menka ho sori ene kwadware kwadware and look your best oba ye makeup papa bi si abontene fa wo bag baby a wote hwe ya na yesere wo no san kofa ho biem fa ho and walk in confidence fa ho and let them know say omo bo wo hwe ho now so wanka ho you are up on your feet again. They would wonder, but they have no idea. Say your biggest moment is yet to come. Show whom cry in a day. And many pa no encounter. And ma enipa expectations of you. enka wo moa. Step out in boldness. Anya wonkwa na wo yes a mistake no wi ase. And you will not be the last. Anya wonkwa na sabe asem we ato and you will not be the last. Enya wonko na odi sika hye business mu ama na hye, you will not be the last. Enya wonko na odi obi kam abegu animu ase, you will not be the last. It is not your end. Arise and start afresh. Step out in boldness, knowing that ujina wo na so biemu a the next level na woko. Na woko the next level with experience from baby a wote hye no. Ontim hye biem. Bejina wo na so. Ukomu be yeden and you smile again. We any enkran hyesem a enawie mede ebrewo. Sir, when you segment we hu now per se obe etaye chia. Our doors and arms are open. Come and sponsor. Na yen share your hu kran de biara da. A lot has also been happening on the international front. So, Mokai said, "Now, Donald Trump and Putin a meeting be or Alaska. We'll catch up with events and then we'll also on the international scene. Africa, what is new for us? Say Eddie Hunkomache, and then he's here in the studio. Our international relations analyst and observer." Adam Zegna Abdullah is here in the studio. He will tell us and help us understand and Yamafufra Ekoso within a geopolitics. Ekoso between countries. The politics of the world, I mean. He's here to help us catch up. What is the latest? Ukraine, Russia, and Tokyo after Trump and Putin meeting, Omu Bejaya and I feel crying the Mubeyading. Hey, no be a what to show mindful for Supana, war banner Trump or born in some, or born in some side to say Putin be doing in somewhere, then you more didn't Saturn and Siam. And interestingly, Vladimir Putin hardly does this. Say, what call maybe soon or cut now or minor man penny came one time, yes, sir. On this occasion, Vladimir Putin, eja ne car, Russia car, ya dia manoa, and no tinem one tinem or cotna. Donald Trump, a armored limousine. What does that signal? The end of Ukraine and this whole NATO agenda with Ukraine, is it on ice? And I said, Afena emubabi pija. Hey, don't forget Israel and Gaza. Now, Baby told you, yes, and Kofu were a common quan you kuomo a Gaza. But Israel has sworn to annex Gaza and make Gaza an extension of Israel. Are they succeeding? Africans, we'll get into all of that very soon. But I'll go for a quick commercial break. And some good things have been happening. And I meji brena ma bompenifo bia baso kakra. E wo dwumedie so. I'll later come to Facebook. Maybe we can kind of messages I would do eja. Meda Joe Sankwa say, no matter Joyce has said, no matter Jemima say, and Mimi is giving us moral support as well. Well, that's the team behind the show. I'll take a quick break. We'll catch up with international events, and geopolitics, and near Koso, Ewo Amai Ahodoso in terms of governance. We're back after these.
Yemma wakwaba eba Eclipse Collateral Management. Ejuma kwostron kwa yemma wenya wadwapade nkrata ho mfaso. Wonim se wadwapade nkrata ekuta wo no ebetumi asesa wo daache. Yesesa emfasode a adwapade wuranom etumi enya ewo no dwapade nkrata ho. Ene nyuma wuranom nso ebenya frɛ dwapade ahodo a yedi sia bowa edi apesika edi abo wo nyuma ahodo. Enti se ope prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land document perfection services a mayemfa nyonko. Ewo Eclipse yewo prime depository OTT platform bia ahobambo bomu a yade foforo a ejapade awuranom etumi de won krata ekoto ho na wonya sika a esem bia ni ho na ye de sankrata yi ebo nwumaku ahodo a wo pebisia de afrisika kwabia ho ye bobosia ho ano ho ba ebo manyuma awuranom nya sika de trewo nwuma mu ye de bosia bo hwehwemu a emudo na ye mapa ena si egina ye enti wonim se wo wonsa ahobambo bomu entwentwa so hwehwenye nkyira kwan ewo adentam barrier ya bembe di Moses Ayaresabia no ewo West Africa SHS afasio no ntempe Franyensesia 0543842466 wo Eclipse Collateral Management. For property owners we say think safety and decent income, and for businesses we say think funding before projects.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
98.9 FM, EpaHoaDaben Jumedie Eni. You want to check with your time right now? It's 6 past the hour 3. Na Emrena Sodia Minkona Inkodin Komo kakra about Enieme Koso or other countries. Ene near Ewomu so Edema Ghana. And some of the things happening on the international scene, ebi wo implications ma Africa. Ebi wo implications ma Ghana. Now, I know say US for almost reforming almost immigration policies towards certain countries, and Ghana has suffered. And then here, sister say, "Cried there, oh, kwa visa na." I was so this kebi kurabe to ho. Na, mukwa mumma intine mufesi kebi me to ho. Na say okwa no ama na say US minor fa at the compensation. I say what the awowa, what this what the bibi kwa kosi awowa. Just for visa, and visa no crowns say, yeah, ma 5 years, multiple beam, yeah, ma 10 years beam, yeah, ma wire 3 months. And Ghana is one of such countries, reforms no akayen. And so, say, baby say, geopolitics, and also international politics, any issues and so, waiting. I know Trump buy or say, we review tariffs upwards. In I hope. Presidents are hold far back door here come before so anka yebe hu bi mumobo. And so near koso ama hold so no e wo institution so na yeti kroma na kire se Russia ne Ukraine to kwano kra kan ama kan akwaniansa bebre so. And there was indeed evidence to prove say the Russia-Ukraine war no affected the global economy. Inti ultimate discounted the impact on Ghana so it be another way I politics or so there. But you cannot discount the impact of geopolitics on Ghana and any other country for that matter. And so a ton safreno brano na waboying to catch up with major things like ACC across the world and who interpretation and who analysis na yetimiso follow some of these issues. Adam Zegna Abudulai is my guest this afternoon. Or exclusively Happy FM international relations analyst.
Me do some bra.
Aboko de.
Nyame adom.
De nyame ase. Me hu ache kakra.
Unta frame star.
So yeah, local politics need to be jijimu. In the last few weeks we've been mourning.
Yes. I know I understood pan say it was going to take a while.
You know. Sometimes local politics overshadow international issues.
Very understandable.
We never want to lose sight of near so around us.
Yes, very important.
And thanks for being here as well.
Yeah.
We say me motivation now
Oh, Charlie. Now come rough. We say we preach am a crowd no.
Also we preach am a crowd no. Madam for say ebinumu ye marketplace ministers, marketplace pastors. Omonomo ko Bible school.
But see, we are marketplace pastor.
Yeah, marketplace pastor.
Miss Musa, the potential is there, pa. Very, very serious. Say what was fan. No there.
Miss Shagina near from pastor.
Is sir? Oh, it's not surprising at all.
Oh, I've preached in markets in Koforidua. I've done broadcast before and all of that.
Oh, okay. And then Ujai.
Oh, sir, nyame on frɛ wa wontimi frɛ home.
I know they prepare.
Wontimi wano atinti wo sɛ nyame afrɛ. David enyensa. Nti baby I'm from the boy no. And I just made this so about do hey. So what's me mra, I will do it.
Of course.
I have no option.
Because everything happens for a reason.
Exactly,
so,
exactly. Unia, so what is new? I was talking about Trump and Putin meeting. I think that is the headline.
Yes.
For in fact, the last 1 week in Yunano, it has dominated international headlines and all of that. And me have video be a Putin a catcher Trump said the next meeting must be in Moscow.
Russia, yes.
And they all laughed over it.
Yes.
Trump was well complicated though. We can just smile over it and the people ban me.
Russia.
Dramatic man. Anyway, so how did that meeting go? Now, at DNA free, what were the talking points of Trump and Putin meeting? You know, and you say Ukraine is the focus.
Yes.
But after the meeting, what's up?
Yes.
Is the war over?
So the meeting no dear. Anka
EpaHoaDaben.
Meka say anka omonya meeting no pokra. Anka
Oh, sir.
Honestly, regards to Niena the US intended to accomplish. No?
Okay.
Anka omonya kra anka ye.
Oh,
honestly, because first of all,
I thought this meeting was the game changer.
It was supposed to be.
Okay.
You see, but it wasn't even close.
Oh, sir.
At the end of the day, yes.
Too far, baby.
Because even the whole idea of the meeting in Alaska on US soil was a wrong move for the US, for Trump.
What Alaska, hold on. Why?
Yes, because the position of the US ever since the war started, they say Russia should stop bombing Ukraine.
Exactly. They called it invasion. An invasion.
An invasion, you understand? Until one no, say if Russia say the war is ended. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So it is in Russia's hands.
Yeah.
Until if you're inviting Russia for a meeting on your home soil, that's like welcoming them with open arms. And Oba and Pokra say who the can say
Oboni Samsa
and they start in the same car together.
Yeah.
No, all these things were bad optics.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I thought
the
it
US.
was to make Putin comfortable so that as it was set a good mood for
No. Obi awako invade another country. No, dear. You don't have to make him comfortable like that. That is if you think it is an invasion, and then you have that view and all that. So what I say.
Yeah.
So approaching it in that way, no, even if you are going to batter him up in that way, no, at the end of the day, the result should have shown.
Yeah.
You understand? But even having that meeting in that way, in that friendly manner, saying that he opened his arms to Putin and all that, already you had made him comfortable. You had made him understand. Say, oh,
it's human in there.
Exactly. Now, in the past 3 years, it seems okay with you. So now, what you're looking for is a way forward. So I say, into that whole arrangement, no, it's more the thing that into all the innocent people are the fact say you have interrupted with the sovereignty of another country and all those things, all the international laws are breaking, and all is fine with you, the US.
Is it the case of a different personality in the helm of affairs, Anna? Because Biden, or president, and Putin invaded Ukraine.
Yeah, that's true.
Biden or describe it as an invasion, his administration day. Now you have Donald Trump power, and they want to know what power. Meaning, so we repeated that word invasion,
Yeah, sure.
But Neo King, Emma me feel say as a new law. Say Trump, say Biden, and not for say invasion. May Trump mean who is that? Is that not indication Trump or Dema?
Well, that's an astute observation.
Okay.
And I was even going to come to that because it's very true, say because Trump, before the election, the run up to the election, not they be like he tried to posit himself not as a supporter of Ukraine, as the predecessors, not on
Biden,
exactly, but he was more or less like acting as a third party into now mediator. You see, in this conflict. Into earlier this year, Oshia Zelensky in the White House. You see that now I say you are gambling with World War III.
Exactly.
You see, it's like he's trying to say, oh no, say like the war should end, and he thinks that both parties are at fault.
Okay.
So I say, and
he wants to be the nice guy.
Do you understand? But that is the erroneous, way of looking at it because Obiara himself it's only one party, one country that invaded. Like Menka say, the invasion, it was for because Ubisa Russia and Obeka say it's for various reasons and all that, and Putin cry invaded and he gave his own reasons and all that. You see, but everybody acknowledges, including the Russians, say one country, that's Russia, invaded Ukraine.
Yeah.
You see, if you're not looking at it from that point of view, nah, there's no way you'll be able to end that conflict. Also, you I say like, or understand they say Putin has a game plan.
Okay.
You see, if you don't stop him in his tracks now, he's going to go ahead and achieve his game plan. You see, because
and the game plan is ultimately, obe take over Ukraine.
Yes. You see, because Trump, some months ago, he was complaining, say he has spoken to Putin about the whole war and then the call for a ceasefire and all that. And after the call, or they say,
striker.
do you understand? You see, so that's anything I'm gonna say. Like, of course, the meeting they didn't had, okay, and also, Omoka say they had two good reasons for going to the meeting.
Okay,
that is one, to achieve a ceasefire.
Okay,
and then two, if the ceasefire is not agreed upon, what will happen? What are the consequences of it? That the sanctions that will be placed on Russia. You understand? Putin, even though like the prospect of even having that meeting in Alaska was a good sign for him. You see, he had to also wrestle with the fact, say, if now Trump was trying to play hardball, no, I can say, I need a ceasefire today. If you don't implement the ceasefire, may implement it, win on you. You see, so that at least he'll be backed against the wall and all that. But from the way, of course, the cameras were not there. A meeting. But when they came out of it, normally they hold these press conferences. There was no indication whatsoever. Say,
reach a deal.
Exactly. If one kasawama parameter say, okoye meeting we, and the meeting is to achieve a ceasefire. Where we meeting?
Who achieve and I want to.
Have you not felt? So as I say, you see, so right now it looks like the Trump administration, they are trying to spin the whole thing.
Okay.
They can say, the talks are still ongoing and all that. But I mean, this was a major
meeting. Exactly. But the one person will create impression say it was an effective.
An effective meeting, or it's a step in the right direction and all that. And it's their own matter.
But come to think of it, if you're Trump embarrasses Zelensky over the Oval Office, allowed cameras in there.
Yeah.
And they were on any Kasai.
Yeah.
And then the vice president.
Yeah.
They will treat Zelensky. Now Osha Putin in the same vein. Completely different. Or born in Semano, they started to know Kuechi. That should clearly signal to Ukraine, say, Trump no one year na so be bo ho ban yo.
That's a very good point. But you see, Ukraine also, they don't really have a choice. Omun to me antagonize the US because that's their only hope.
Yeah.
Yes, they've got a lot of help, you see. And if you look at things, the fundamental issue at stake here, they say Trump does not seem to understand the basis of the whole conflict. Still,
up to now,
it's either say
any problem.
Exactly. Either say because either say he doesn't want to understand it, or he has taken a stance or Kataso as maybe Obi a third party in the whole thing, or he just does not understand it. You see, it's very, very hard to see his point of view or see some reason with what he's doing. That is where some of these conspiracy theories come up. You can say, maybe a Omoko meeting, Putin trying to be like something to show, say, he has some compromising information. Only say already, there's this rumor going around in America, say, on Epstein files.
Yeah.
Say, he's part of those
who have debt on him.
Exactly. He's a pedophile and all those things. You see, ain't Omuri meeting, and when they saw that, then there was nothing. And even his body language after the meeting. At that press conference now, Putin, they were asking Putin questions. No, in the body language, according to these body language experts, Omoka said, it looks like Omoko meeting. No, as a training baby. You understand?
That's what exactly. I'm a Trump shake.
That's what shake.
And that could be a possible blackmail.
Yes, but of course these are just they are not castings too. They are not facts. You understand? But because of they are just conjecture because of all the things that have gone on. And at the end of the day, I'm going to me achieve the person much.
And we hear a similar rumor when it comes to Israel and the US and so.
Yes.
Say as a US funded pampa Israel funded because Israel for no have debt on US senators be brave.
Yes.
Omo sponsor omo campaigns into the US can't rein them in. Omo timin tia omo.
Yes.
Omo timin kase ne oye nenye because abai mu nkrofo bebre a omo kwagigigi sika free Israeli companies or
yes. Omo engaging in bribery and all these things. Yes.
Ebi so kofa nkwada pedophiles
yes.
They mo videos ni ade.
Exactly. And it's a fact say even the Texas senator Ted Cruz he confirmed say Mossad, that is Omo intelligence Israel intelligence, yes, they have actually been spying on the US.
Of course they would.
You see, and Okas asked him, I remember the journalist shot back and said, I didn't know Mossad spy on the US. The US is their greatest ally. Exactly. So why are you spying? She said,
I'm spy on you.
You see, it's a betrayal of your trust. No, I said, oh no, these things are normal. He has a point, Mom, because normal say, you still spy on you, even though you are
allies.
Allies, yes. It's not just adversaries that they spy on. But even just the fact say like they actively do it, and I say they do it in such a way that like as a moon through in repercussions of it, that fits into that narrative. Say, Ebia, those are the things that
I see.
Yes.
Wow. So, but war na ekoso the Ukraine Russia war na ekoso.
Oh, definitely.
Omo so bombe.
Omo so bombe. You see. So that is why
and they say Ukraine asa.
Already at the end of the day, it was already a very difficult situation to deal with, you see, because
Ade shall say agro. Oh, I say by next week the ombe jai. Oh, I say by 1 month time ombe jai. I did 3 years.
3 years.
So about what percentage of land in Russia etime SCD?
Last I heard, about almost 30% of Russia.
Of Ukraine.
Oh, sorry, of Ukraine.
Abedi Russia
for some. They are in control.
It is a near-sin tokwane jaya. Russia for be jai 30% in the and say they will hold on.
Do you understand?
It's a big issue.
It's a big issue. You see, and so that's even why a lot of these the European Union, yes, almost call Washington to have that meeting with Trump. Now you've seen those pictures around it. It is all to like get him to, because Omo who say as he keeps marching on, he's becoming more and more interesting. Exactly. You see, and now some of these things, you see, history almost always repeats itself.
Yeah.
You see, ringing alarm bells of events between I think 1939 and 45. That's the Second World War.
Okay.
And even preceding 1939, timer Hitler, Ostarte, the moves. You see, annexing certain countries, Czechoslovakia, the US, the UK allowed them to invasion, because they made some concessions. Even those ones, even West, they made some. The US Prime Minister allowed them to make some concessions. As a Czechoslovakia, some part of it. Nah, he took it, and then he started going on. Sir, Odro Poland now. Omoka said they've had enough. You understand? It looks almost the same.
The first time or invading another country.
Exactly.
Crimea,
yes,
and all of that. So, what's the worst case scenario?
Worst case scenario, they say no. Worst case scenario, they say like Putin just march on and then take over the yes, and then US will just sit and watch on.
It's a Soviet Union and or Sanjay countries in
now. And let me say, funny enough, the Ukrainians and our allies, that's the UK and Congo, their best bet is Trump. Okay. Funny enough, because the BBC na JD Vance be take over. Mrs. Sagan.
Watching Trump no.
Watching Trump no. On fin Ukraine po, he will not even mind.
Watching Trump no.
You see, or no, he's steeped in those,
and he has a certain attitude.
Yes.
Or Kasakra here. No. This guy.
Exactly. So, okay, I'm meeting now.
Yeah.
He was. You see, because even Trump will kind of a little composed. Or no started accusations, so you can see, say he's already set in his mind.
No, you're not so girly she be.
Yes.
Yes.
You see, it's no. He's also very intelligent. I think a Yale graduate and all that, or a lawyer. You see,
Very smart.
Very, very smart. Into only principles, no, he's steeped in his principles. Oh no, you can't change. Trump, no, he doesn't really have very strong principles.
Yeah.
Okasana, it makes sense to him.
Obviously.
But for people like J.D. Vance, no, say BBC na ABR, Trump free sooner.
We are hardliners.
Very hardliners. You see, and then they can justify
no.
But Trump, no, because he's not always very sure about what his this and this. No, Ubitimo said today he's cold, tomorrow he's hot. You see, he changes. So with Vance, no, it's very, very dangerous. You see, their best bet is actually Trump around this point in time. And looking at the way the Democratic Party are about a week, no, yes, the only hope, no, the current California governor, Gavin Newsom. Oh no, he's fighting Trump boot for boot because of issues concerning gerrymandering. So he has projected himself to be as the next best.
Leadership crisis.
Seriously, because even Kamala Harris spoke, I said she has given up. She has given up because
she was not cut out for this.
You see, that is honestly, and I thought she was cut out for it, but the where the country was at that point in time, no, she just couldn't.
Now they be announced,
as compared to near Trump, no, like Trump was doing, like Trump, no, like
no.
You see, it's because now Obiya used to. Trump, no, you see, and then there was that kind of bias for Trump. Oh, Trump, they sign out. But for no, because she was new,
how much was expected from her?
Do you understand? And see, it's unfair, but
bending. Say one game.
Yes, and
Obi be who fin the abedi game no also be on gentle the aba at the end of the day results everywhere.
Exactly.
Israel Gaza. What's new?
Israel Gaza no. Israel have now resolved say they'll go into Gaza. And this is a mover. Right now, even a lot of US previous supporters of Israel, most of them from the Democratic side of the aisle, they are very much against. For the Trump administration, they are say, so they have not really maybe issued any statements or made any posture to show say they are against that particular move. But what is known is say the UK, France, almost all these other countries are
European nations
now they are allies of Israel. No? They are against it. And the simple reason is say what is going on right now is say no Obia Jiatum say it is plain genocide. See the killing of the children. Say even journalists program you see Al Jazeera journalists. Yes, I'm going to lose 2 journalists. You see, and now the fact say in Kofobi
aid workers council are being targeted.
Yes, they are being targeted. You see, into all these things, no, it has actually put Israel on the back foot, especially optics wise. You see, they say because you have a lot of people who are gravitating towards
Palestine
because of the way treat you. Exactly. You see, which is actually quite sad.
But Israel is not bothered.
Israel is not bothered, but they should be. They should be because they say you say we have things that make things legitimized. Maybe Okoye elections now. Your country's electoral commissioner, Kase, we win. At the end of the day, no, it is the other nations, their recognition of you, that is even paramount. Yes, exactly. You see, yes. You see, you have a lot of the time, you have a lot of strong men. As for their countries, they have control over it. But about international scene, you see, say they don't really recognize them. You see, and they at this point in time, Senia, they are conducting the war. No, it is giving Palestine a lot of points. So say Australia, Maka say they are going to recognize Palestine. France, they can't recognize it. UK, almost say if they don't stop what they are doing with the killing of the
children and workers
and journalists now, recognize it just next month. So if you have France and then the
Australia and UK,
those are 3 of your allies. Very soon, and wherever UK goes, Germany
they will follow.
So
Baba, an EU stance at a point.
Exactly. You see, and also too, to be fair, all these countries, no, officially, they be even though Obianim say they support or they are biased towards Israel, no, they have this stance, say, just like Ghana, say, there should be a two-state solution to the whole problem.
Okay.
So, and they say, even though they are very close to Israel, no, they be now can say a two-state solution. That means that Palestine should be recognized at some point in time. But the reality of it, no, has been something that has been challenged for a very, very long time. You see, because of the activities of Hamas.
Okay.
Exactly. You see, so they had all these countries, no, they hadn't brought their minds to that, that place there to recognize Palestine. But they say, no, it's Israel is forcing their hand. Do you understand? At first, no, that particular position, no, say two-state solution, it was more theoretical than anything.
Yeah.
But they say,
it's very practical, very real.
Exactly. And that is where the problem is for Israel. Because, yes, you can, Omu are very, very powerful. The last time, discussing the strength of the Israeli military. In the Middle East, nations say any country can
beat me.
Yes.
Saudi?
No, they can't.
Oh, okay.
Because
in terms of military might.
They get a lot of support from the US. Yeah. And even they have nuclear weapons too. You see, so we are very, very powerful. Yeah. So as for dealing with Gaza and then these rogue groups, Hamas, Houthis, and then all those people, I know they're very easy for Israel. Okay. Although it's like a bit of a border, but taking care of them, they ain't a problem. But now, after you are done with it, they say, can you come back to the Committee of Nations and then,
My life goes on.
No. There will be some repercussions. So what I say.
Sanctions.
Maybe may get there.
With US in their corner, how much can European Union do against Israel?
Well, you see, they should be careful because it's just half of US that's in their corner.
Okay.
The other half of US is not in their corner.
Yeah.
And to say, if a Democrat takes over, the Democrat is definitely going to give the same talking points as the European Union. Yes. So, they are not in a very good position.
Okay.
So, at best, the best thing for them to do is say, almost started making concessions.
Okay.
You see, in some of these things, because at the end of the day, look, you cannot decimate Hamas like to nothing.
Said last time, people say ambassador, not Yakunye Muna Mechen say. Muslim person to Hamas I say. But only me say it is nearly impossible to uproot Hamas entirely.
Yes.
Because Niamode ye Hamas for no omomanso he. So you are grooming the next generation of Hamas terrorists.
Very easy.
And apart from Hamas, other splinter terrorist groups are Palestinians in the use. Inti terrorists possible to Hamas
and possible.
He said they recognize that fact, but they will give it their best shot.
No, but it's not possible. You see, what you can do is say you can make sure something like October 7th will never happen again. So they will never be able to arm themselves to that particular level until which we can supply chains from Iran to some of these groups. You see, and then maybe I just still continue to maintain that control because already almost our control over the Gaza airspace and all that. You see, because there's been a similar thing with Hezbollah. The Biden administration will negotiate a ceasefire agreement between Hezbollah and then Israel. You see, they couldn't kill all the Hezbollah members. By the end of the day, the deal was very favorable to Israel.
Okay.
And the things they put in place, it is to make sure, Hezbollah never gets to that level. Attacking Israel
magnitude.
Exactly. So, it's things like this that makes it very, very impossible to understand.
Interesting. EpaHoaDaben.
Africa. What's up? Togo. Hey, you must have come for some time. After you find your single year and near demonstrations, Kakrebi by, I could say.
Still, the tension is not but
Togo.
Yes, but say as for with repressive regimes now, they know how to deal with this kind of dissent.
But Togo for now, so many citizens, because the last demonstration here, Causeway, it was largely instigated by Togolese form who are going to on social media.
Yes.
But any moment Nisa no. But Pia Bontimbe did a cry a train about them.
So with that, the fear of death. Exactly. You see, na.
But freedom, no, we must lose some. When you freedom,
lose some, no, because like go for be because
like people said they didn't put up a spirited fight.
Well,
like
well with that one, no,
I don't mean here external support.
External support at this point in time, no, I think it will be a bit of an issue.
Okay, destabilize it.
A bit because you have to balance the sovereignty of a country with Ibia. If it's at a very large scale, say genocidal scale, and no dear. With that one, say that's
international
attention. But because of the fact, say Ibia, maybe 6 people have been killed. It is not. I know. The government can always come and say the circumstances that led to their killing, or maybe now they're trying confrontational, or self-defense and all those things. Exactly. You see, so that is where the issue no. But very very difficult because Ghana no pokra demonstration na omo the tear gas ne should say back on na almost be scatter. And easy. But at the end of the day, as you said, there has to be some resilience from the Togolese people. Civil disobedience.
Pushback,
yes.
Positive defiance be.
It will definitely come back because nothing lasts forever.
But we can't have positive defiance. It has to be negative to get what they want.
Yes.
But at the end, one year, Togo military, because I'm looking at Burkina Faso, Traore.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Mali. I'm looking at Niger.
Hey.
And the fact that I just had a patch. Okay. And I'm home baby sir, but I'm not recommending it. But you may patch and say, I am in one kakra. Say oppression Burkina Faso no more fem. Near almost friend at ayawa na Mali forces so almost fem. It took soldiers to do something about it.
Okay.
By ousting Abaina na usumusu what no many days so. But Togo soldier for no. Meaning say woman who say they are being oppressed. Woman who say the president is tweaking the constitution against the will of the people. Meaning how they see it. And
there's a simple explanation for it.
Okay, tell me.
And they say, I said the other time, the Togo, since its inception, it's been only 7 years, less than a decade. Togo has not been under the control of a member of the Nasingbe family. Only 7 years.
Per ena
Togo.
Nyasingbe for Mambidi Akunyano.
Yes.
Into Obia Onya Nyasingbe ni Obedi Akunyani did for just 7 years.
Just 7 years.
Nyakani Naya Nyasingbe for.
Yes. Either a Yadema or for all. So you can imagine soldier for now, no more. It's they are all that's Yadema's people. To 2005 and the same year for all take over. Even let me just use Ghana as an example. Ghana, so why we need to Ghana. If MP back government, which means say all the military
top brass,
you understand? Until you can imagine.
So for one country,
very very normal. So you can imagine for a country that has been under the control of one single family, the entire military ship. Yes. Why would they do that? Exactly. You see, it's very, very different from Mali. But I'm sure say like some adequate compensation. Exactly. You see, just to prevent anything like that.
Interesting.
Sure say.
Wow. Anyway, dem come on a baby minim se bibi fufuro bi wo wa ye ni ma so yente ye anan adwen call so a minim if it's Africa or global Odibeja finally na I'm sure you've been following President Mahama in Japan.
Yes.
And then in Komodi na Odi.
Yes. I think say me to say now with the idea say the GIPC Act,
almost sana kakra.
Yes.
Because as a investor friendly.
Yes. Like very easy to understand why that act was put in the first place, because now I'm more expecting a certain level of investment into the country and all that. But to say, from the point of view, so I think that it is likely to, attract a lot more.
Okay.
It's not like we are picking and choosing and all that. But you see, largely, the reason why that act was put in place is to protect the local economy too. Exactly. To make sure, to help us to gain from foreign investments, and also to protect our local economy.
Yeah.
You see, but this one, the cons, we don't do the cons that that will come out of it and all that. And see, this Obana.
Some questions.
Some questions, and we'll see how it goes. But I think it's a step in the right direction, because as for Oman BI, like here foreign investments just to help stimulate the economy and then get it somewhere.
When I heard Sir President Mahama say you review investment requirements in terms of fees,
Yes.
At the same time, Misako Hunu Adibina. But I tried to check, and I've checked with the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Honorable Kuvanapoi.
Okay.
See, government, as we speak, proposes some increase citizenship application fees for non-Ghanaians to between $10,000 and $25,000, alongside proof of intent to invest at least $250,000 in the country. So, and now me say President Mahama say GIPC law no. Yebehena yatete sa fees so. Na on the Foreign Affairs Ministry side, omo propose the idea say so be person or naturalize be Ghana ni a fee obetua no mo hwese mo be pay between $10,000 and $25,000. And Sandy Pano person or citizen must also prove the intent to invest at least $250,000. I found it a bit contradictory to what he wants to do to attract investors. And this very measure, I kind of say maybe they have or somewhere have balance sheet now or compare notes kakra.
Well, at least with what you said, the meeting I can say it looks like for the proposal from the Foreign Affairs Committee, I know it's very different from Mama.
I get it, yes, but you see, when you have investment tied to citizenship,
but you see, citizenship, it also comes with a lot of benefits.
Ghana citizenship,
yes, because business-wise, you see, because even in regards to even
so all your Ghanaian citizens
yes.
threshold in a different capital requirement in a different.
Yes, very, very different. For something as simple as even land. We are Ghanaian, you can lease land for up to 99 years. But we are Ghanaian, you can't lease land for that long. So that's what I say. Inti Obiba Ghana Hanum na wabenya Ghanaian citizenship. Nah. You see, and he does not, give back to us in that sense. You see, with what the Foreign Affairs Committee is asking now, that person is now going to more or less enjoy the benefits of being a Ghanaian, and then we don't get anything from it. Because Ebia, Obana will be a Ghanaian citizenship. Now, Ebia, the processing now, they call the country of origin. So what I say, then what are we benefiting from?
The fact so be a Ghanaian citizen does not necessarily mean so be investment.
That's true.
But when you say, I was saying me prove my intent to invest at least $250,000.
Oh, I know I think it's a bit harsh, but I think it's for maybe they have to come clear.
Yeah.
Because and yet it's not every applicant. Yes, but me sure say this is for some targeted, people. You see, because it is there are a lot of benefits that come with being a Ghanaian citizen. You see, so in terms of land like this, a very, very important thing. You see, Obana Ghanaian citizenship very easily because let's also remember, say, a lot of these investors, any businessman, will looking for loopholes, to do something that benefits him. It's me very, very sure, say, there has to be a catch. I agree with you. There has to be a catch because it is not possible, say, OBBR or per se.
How is this attractive?
No.
This won't attract.
It's not something that is.
And me, me because from year of return, ebesine, matumebo a steady influx of African Americans. Omaba omaimu, omo pesa omo be naturalized na, omo contributed to the Ghanaian society. And I tell you, me share nipa bebre nso a omo share frustrations omo fam just to switch citizenship. And to me who feels in the car when I'm saying, are we sure we really want to attract Nkrofo to become Ghanaians, and therefore once obey Ghana, look, there are some Hollywood African American stars who are doing serious investments in Ghana.
Yes.
And there are very ordinary people who are almost famous, but investments Ghana, even when they are not citizens yet. I may say such a policy ever. In fact, initially, I thought say no correct, but when I checked, then the chairman said it is correct. Like, are we sure?
Well, but I think I think something just came to mind.
Okay.
I know for a fact, say, in terms of when it comes to naturalization of citizenship and registration to become a Ghanaian citizen, under the purview of the Ministry for Interior. You see, Interior sure say this one has to do with a certain class or level of people.
It doesn't say.
At the end of the day, said policy documents, Baba. So we'll be able to probe and we'll be able to read through and find out what it is. Because it doesn't make any sense, say, Obi Bia or Pese or Ghana, he has to, it's not possible.
He must have an intention to invest.
No, it's not possible. And I think this particular model, matter say, in certain countries, I think even in Qatar and I think UAE and all that, or more a model like that. And to make sure say they are trying to do a model that is, I have to go and read on, and there need a lot of information on this particular matter. But of course, I'll come in and we'll talk about it.
Sharp. Adam Segna Abudulai,
Okay,
very insightful interaction. I always enjoy this session. You picked a thing or two from this very conversation. EpaHoaDaben Jumedienie. Yeah, to us.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
My memory Facebook na o messages ni bia odi aba menkenkan famao, and a lot of you are talking about domestic political issues because any here mo bebre ne ka kwetia ene NPP internal race ebekoso next year January 31st. Na menkan a few of them. Na menfa bi nso ntwamu and find more comments on the motivational message in Swaba. And Richard Okine watching us live on Facebook. We say, Bibi, good afternoon. Thanks for today's motivation. Keep up the good work. The sky is the limit. Me that say in kwama ho kwama nkranhye semun so akan will be Richard Okine, my brother. Good afternoon. Long time no here. Isaac Akroma SO here live. Also more fire. God is good. He is indeed all the time. Is good. From Ejabata Akwatisu, Mose, I can now confirm that health workers in Ghana are a bunch of liars. They lie to conceal their negligence, and when they are caught, then they try to play the victim. Listen to their so-called General Secretary yesterday confirming the lie they concocted to conceal the negligence at the hospital. They are paying group of professionals. Wicked. Wana medisi. Semna okakatwa so ne de Mr. Wada. Why? You can make your point without the name calling. Paul Amenosoji also saying, "Oh my, ayuko ene oboade nyankopon protection." Comensa pillar 2. Ediaba from Ose, give Baumia a chance. Okay, give Baumia another chance. NPP family campaign for your candidate, but don't insult or attack your opponent. After all, we have to come together. Kukurudu. Special greetings to Hadia Safia. Thanks, Comensa pillar 2, for your message as you brought them. Na mame Emma chief of staff. Mema no chief of staff. Na we I'm Fonte Abanka in terms of as the PCA or the eba Now, the chief of staff has caused a statement to be issued today. So statement here about Bontino no mekan mu no. I think say we're doing who ye and or the abeto or say let's wipe our tears, unite in hope. Chief of staff ni plea to the people of Ghana and no after we are ankra obia ebeto minor so. And he makes the point, he said, in taking inspiration from the selflessness of Sanipa ATR, he decided some kosumo mind any oyene abetoya so. But he critically also makes the point, say, we need to move on as a nation. I was say, when you SC no nijina sona yedi CCFA, making sure say it be NCBM. And that for me, any chief of staff, Julius Debra, ne some of the other two and the pompon so kese pa mame say beyond the death is a nation to build. And you see about building nation no to anasa ewura no mu ya na e was say nyina ye chefa say galamsey na wo ye say wo ye ohene a wo ye DC wo ye police commander, you must make sure say ye nyina ye be taking inspiration from sao we na bibi wo ho a wo say ye fa galamsey ho a ye nyina ye tuyani e de asiso na yaye said the beya or mino ebetimi enya ne ntoma pa ediefra. And he stresses the point on say sakwen share we de Ghana a kan mu it brought MPP and NDC together. The chief of staff makes the point, and I quote or say, let us remain united in prayer, comfort one another, and continue to support the families affected by this tragedy. And let me commend the chief of staff for putting it that way. Watre leadership, and Mrs. Su said, Bebwa. But let me also, Joyce, Famiko Gold Board, and opinion on that gold board, no, Sami Jemfi has taken another step, and I think, say, aswafo no ne appointees, you know, say, omutu anamompa, we ought to indicate it, bring it to the fore. Na encourage you mdomo kosuntu sana mona. Uni nienti ame way very important to me ni say the institution be shown sa, especially institution na any ho. Yes, set it up for. We took an act to Parliament to establish the gold board. And since the act was passed, the first chief executive officer, Sami Jemfi, when me be say it's been consistent work. I mean, the first is setting up the gold board office in Ankasa. And enye juma ketwa say or start BBR from scratch. I remember the office of special prosecutor. Mr. Martinamiru could not set up the office of special prosecutor. When Timia setting up. In fact, at the time I could say Jabemba na skeletal staff. I seconded woman from Ministry of Interior and Police Service, and now woman Ibinmu had been seconded from Yoko. Into now OSP Nankasane office, the full complement of staff no kranuni. But Sami Jemfi Babe take you over gold board. We have consistently seen a Juma or year to operationalize gold board, by setting up the office in the structures. Why no we was setting up a task force. Said say policy gold a jedie to ensure say smuggling in no a two betwa ne bejai. And beyond that, the new thing here wababe and then the act insists, and the act says was a gold board an adjudicating team and answer body beer say Obia or licensing issues. And now Obi or say Bia he has not been treated fairly. Okoto gold and the license issues were and now say Bribia Koso in a sale of gold. Say ansana someone be court no. The gold board as an institution should have mechanisms betimi e de ahwesa ansem no de di nsem no. And enra the chief executive Sami Jemfi yet again consistently working as setting up a gold board tribunal. As a tribunal who for in the Facebook is a tribunal eba legal issues are involved with gold sellers and gold buyers. omo licensing issues. Well, license I expire now that should trade you gold that. I was say tribunal no ehwetwe and odi anim, in fact, with together with the finance minister, inaugurate the gold board tribunal. Legal issues sebeba app regarding sale and purchase of gold. Omobehena omedi asemono aka asemono in accordance with the act establishing the gold board. Inti, I want to commend Sami Jemfi for being very consistent at ensuring we have a fully functional gold board. Ne nkrabata ne departments ne structures nyina in place na adwuma. And say when gold board CEO bi mu a nipa obaba betena so ababa gold board CEO no will just have to continue from where he left off. Enya fe na obe struggle to set up office no and make sure say structures ni nyina adwuma. And I think the chief of staff must have eyes on him. He's one of the few appointees America wo mutu e wo mo office no. I think quite remarkable and encouraging. We need to indeed point it out and encourage him. Say onko so sa na eniema objectives are yepesi enye free gold board no mu no yenya. And the bigger issue really is gold dwede no. We were told by Kokuma Olenanagbe of the NDC say as part of umedwuma no is to also ensure say among for say as no be reclaiming and all of that. I think say no focus no so nko ho kese pa. When people mine as new year sika ye ji wo mo so mo fan to ho for reclamation no, we need to ensure say this can be yes adwuma no na yes ensase no. And we want to see seized excavators now. Excavators are yes seize no. Ye pesi ehunu excavators no going to the trenches to reclaim the land and prepare the land. Amana no matutu ni nyina no. Yemfa say excavators insan ko back. Ne fa nko siesie asase no. Yenkata amana no so. Na yesiesie asase ni yenfiase ndua na back on the land. And let's put a task force there to ensure say obi ansa mechire embesi achire emfuntum ensase no ensanse ni biem. So I commend Samuel Jemfi, Chief Executive Officer of Gold Board, for being consistent and within a space of some few months, or while establishing almost all the structures of a gold board and a fully functional gold board. You want to join us live on Facebook now? And somebody being so akoswa, I was here when you home come.
EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben.
Meaning say Ghana for bebre bonjo near Corso our Ridge Hospital ho. And ne say Minister Babe Kasiachi in Kofoni Bia. We want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Say Ampa Yachi. But the minister hasn't helped us. We saw faces. We saw people. And some of the people are identified. To just come out and tell us, say, Yachi nipa ba akono nye enough. Who? Nipa ben. Edin boni nti ne yachi edin. Nti hwana ne yachi no. Hwana ne yachi no. Nipa ben ode no ye. We need to understand. Yempe the situation where because I didn't call viral amount for 3 minister na boss nti no. Yemeka biribi ntum na amount for ehu so minister no ame achi obi ni ade ne ekoso no ye ni nyi ne ekoso no ye ni nyi impunity ne ya doso. And I underscored it. I agree. There were clear issues within our health care system. Sense of urgency. Ahokekane ahofama ye de kɔ ekohia obi oyare a ye page ne nkwa. Ewo form in many cases. But and also ma ho kwan say o de wo patient to call hospital a famrasha wonsem tia doctor for ne nurse for threatening wo to the extent that obe attack bimpo physically. E bibie no ho ma ho sa kwan no. You say if at the ministerial level the minister felt say Same way who he intimiami simwako Raja. One would have expected say that visit to Rage should have sent a certain strong signal to Omo Koya side and any one more etifia one more planet so me side any being say we are a civilized society. Bribiniani and Tiasia ya wo emra kwan ne kwan ya faswa ye didie court ko ha de. There are a lot of medical negligence cases at a court. People are suing hospitals. People are suing doctors. And sue nurses. And only the civilized way of going about things. And he said, what do you be a hospital now? Susu yemuno. A nurse for a doctor for no are not being proactive. Inti what them run on some bobi. Now unipana de neba see and no one na kwako henamao. And you see, bra Facebook, I'm showing the video. Oko Ridge Hospital, emergency unit hona. There are other patients at that home. There are other patients at that home. E prick, e jiwo munkwa. Enti, se woko ye dede na e woko ye basa pandemonium. Bibia basa because one who say your patient ought to be treated in a certain way na wunya. You are not just attacking the health workers. You are attacking the other patients. Some are asleep. But I don't understand. Hospital authorities, you are being told to say, one more free police for. And to one free police for a video who police for me and no too. And so police for nearby no. Oh man, chebo is na yes adieno. Ade ache so awi ansa na yeti se minister say wa order se enche baako. I don't get it. Ade we na minister ehun hia say health minister beba mu kra. If Bribiti say health minister beba mu dia, then administratively there are lapses. Omwa Ridge Hospital show monsa as managers of the facilities, leadership atosini. Leadership atosini. And then busa Ridge Hospital administrators, chief executive officer. Have you made a formal complaint or ministry's police say your staff have been assaulted and are you willing to press charges? Adena expect say minister in the chair branch no. Why is that expectation there? Say among for who him say minister no and e be kwakwa chiraf. Wo as hospital, una wo ya be attack or facility attack or staff. E dia na mo na watu through your mra kwanso to ensure yemfa we ntwere ha. Bekwa kwedi nkomo bi aba.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Na emra na mene Adam Zegna Abudullah edi nkomo no yekobo President Mahama trip to Japan so and nkomo a odi wo ho ostensibly to attract investors to Ghana. Now as part of the things he said, and he said Ghana yen any the best performing currency in the whole world within this year. Wasanswa can be afa yen business climate how attractive it is and opportunities a womu ema investors. Bene obia sam komo we ote ase chen me ebedi hu komo na waboa ya ma esua de kakra na ne yente ase ne ne ekire ya adwene no yabusa no. Dr. Evans Nunu, a economist, or Sanso, a business analyst. He joins me on the line. Doc, bichawe we do wase enomre.
Yenia.
Boko die.
Yamia do me ho ya pa.
We dey fa che me se me mo gina homa no so che na heat ni gina mu kakra na wase me yi ase bi free me bo pa.
De o ka do le ho hienti no me ti ase for God and country.
Me da se papa doc. So President Mahama investors about Ghana. Now, one of his key selling propositions to the investor community of Japan is that yen currency is doing well. It is not just doing well, it is the best performing currency in the world. Sadie way atwe politics na be mu amanfo MPP for ne omo nya adwene ba kokra. Ebi busa source ne ade nyina. For where you sit as an economist and a business analyst, only a few way CD no any the best performing currency in the whole world, Anna.
Yes, arguably. I have not seen any alternative currency. What's our position? No, and obviously it's because now you see the new performance. No, it was one of the worst. At a point, now you're in Sri Lanka. Now, you're that last. You're last but one. Later, I think for that last. It's a band of Sana. Yes, it's not as if, say, in terms of exchange rate, it is the best, but performing currency. So that is the English.
So what does that mean? The difference between the exchange rate and the best performing currency? Boy, any answer here?
Into my main funnel, my minion physical, something about Obiabecha, the Vianney had Abbas Casamon. Acquire say, in no women, you won't obey near expert the 8 near for 100 meters race. And the number of circumstances, every 100 meters, no, every day be out to me a cover in 1 hour, and I'm a cover in 30 minutes.
Okay.
And ye get in name, no, and then you call no, who put me instead of 1 hour, no, who cover the maybe 30 minutes. And I must me cover me 30 minutes now.
Okay.
Like I said, in terms of performance, no, why are they saying me? Because when we shifted from maybe 1 hour to 30.
Okay.
And I remember that 30 now. But in terms of say, why not? I had you know 30. But you can't do one homework. Then we improvement better than me.
Inti New Park Church as a time in Usuhunya say a brea ye has some no ekahopa.
That is it.
Okay.
Inti yeah currency we improve.
A few way
performing in terms of outweighing other currencies are cities no rank higher than any other currency. But I don't know because I can say exchange rate at 10.5. Now we exchange rate I mean up to the dollars because and 2 days ago made a transaction through the banks and exchange rate maybe 10.5. It's about the cancer.
Okay.
Now I mean 10.5 say I was still. But Osha say na me last year me a major transaction in dollars na a 17 $1 is 17 cedis. And 10.5 do share last year November 17 cedis at the basic 10.5. When I put a better drink say cedis never to about 10.5. Me I never even ye so-called expert no we could not forecast that because quite surprised to say about me I declined that steeply. Yes, there were on one implications, negative implications and positive implications. But then in general, and world currency, the whole world, upon whom what they ahead of other currencies.
Not just say President can say best performing now. No one can say the value across through nemu mono. Say oh hey baby na a war. Any within the last 5 months or so, baby etimi ababedua currency be anywhere. Etimienya hoden within the same period of time to say Ghana cedi you know.
It's my main kind of year because the work no a contradictory because look at the value cost right, the value are cost and what performing what they are performing, but it is not the best. It is not the best currency in the world. But in terms of performance, the country gaining value, currency gaining value over the period that you can watch from last year to this year. Now within this year, from January to year. Currency to be gaining higher value passing any other currency. It is never. You gain ya could do no. Because now or gaining value against wine. Because the dollars no cry can was me.
Hello, Doc. Dr. Nunu. Oh, what's up? Hello, Doc. I think we have lost.
Hello.
Doc, what's your name?
What's the main
Me lusu kakra nti ubusa question say onya value no against who ho na me mante won kan bi mu.
It's not because the work no you're right but technically no it sounds
contradictory.
And the reason is that country be appreciated, we're gaining value.
Yeah.
You understand? But value now we're gaining, it is because now we're losing so much value. And we're gaining it. And I'm in terms of performance, on and that's so. But in terms of relativity, also exchange with a relativity in
what the two others
exactly. So if we take the absolute value, near to compare to other countries, almost absolute value, it is not the best in the world. For example, for be $1, I was a compare 10.5 10 to this 50 pesos, and I would add $1 pay. It is still now no, and yes, it didn't penny
dollar no.
But all that we are saying is that a say could do baby, and it me every gain be do some level. It is currency, a say it to me gather momentum, a recover a part, speedily. The whole world no citizen is idea no. But no, just when we take the absolute values now, I don't know the best currency. No.
Okay.
Because even dollar credit the idea now compared to euros and other world major currencies in and country. But then in terms of performance, in terms of regaining strength there over the period, to me,
now in the investor community, sa CD and a currency performance, a whole significance net is same more. How weightier is that in terms of what they attracting for about investors, sa performance and relevance to them and who say we be a point of attraction be a bit me a Japanese investors abagana.
Yes, also we are talking about foreign direct investment.
Yeah.
And now Mama came undergraduate thesis. And then my thesis on undergraduate level economics was on foreign direct investment.
Oh, okay.
Of foreign direct investment. The reality is that we are talking about foreign. They come here. They will come.
Hello, Doc. Doc, networking in Nimway, meaning, sir, obey me reposition Kakramamia.
But that's okay. My packet, my music card,
okay. What aroma?
My music form. I think that music form. What did they be a me?
Oh, it's okay. I think it's clearer.
So what I'm saying is that with the foreign direct investments, investors never began at the hey.
Yeah.
Not maybe he say Ghanaian be any other Ghanaian be or your business.
Mm-hmm.
The time that here they say essentially business any other means that which may affect it will be our Ghana be affected. But this is the main thing. When you stabilize macroeconomic variables, including the exchange rate now, Ebua and my business person a plan year. And one also a deal with suppliers near there. They know how to bargain because ABI fan say, "What supply me for the sake of your work? Are we getting? What supply me microphones?"
Yeah. Okay.
And me name say enormous sign. Into ABI a bobi na me no waka. And I'm also made buy and me what supply me we are me distribute my retailers near there. Me a major distributor. What they are breme. Na me name say ABI in Dallas. Na me name say enormous exchange rate best sign. Na what the mami I'm also made more on credit. Na time no so ya we dey more at a specific price. Time no so na me ko gi mi sika na exchange rate didn't know. Wo mutu ya city ma me no. That is do I was a minya na me dey be fast similar quantity no. I say no, my short. Na just say when the economy is able to stabilize and the economy is able to stabilize its exchange rate no. Ebuama investors a plan year. They're able to take proper stocks. And any idea? That is one of the first benefits. And another thing is also that will be in most cases, such people know ever because they are not interested in our currency. At the end of everything, they would expect their profit to be calibrated in dollars. And if you give them that assurance that you are stabilizing the economy and that fluctuating by heart, then it also gives them a signal say abana woman in the bayejumano are competent, so one capital and question.
Okay.
And so these are some of the assurances between the investors. See, in most cases, investor confidence very, very, very important. And that they are all kind of one. So Otumi cannot or can year and yam say you be more capital influencer. Bebuama your reserves na costo. Na cities no any further gains because they will come in with foreign currencies.
And the issue about business climate and the business environment, it paints the picture say any doing business in Ghana is the best decision for any investor. Now, Omoba Ghana inflation now almost 23% in 2024, and then about 13.7%. Abayin is projecting say by the end of the year, no, it be to me a single digit inflation. Where yen debt abilities any kind of situation yen credit worthiness, I think I should say, you're moving from a junk status to B minus. Enough to say we have a very thriving, friendly business environment to be in financial camera machine.
Yes, but it is not enough.
Okay.
But it is not enough.
Then
if you look at the cost of doing business in Ghana, I was told, I had been a consultant and I had registered several companies, including filling stations and other oil and gas firms. And I think that sometimes it will surprise you. Go to EPA, go to some organizations, and to answer. When your documents, and sometimes I wonder, a young person, people say, "Oh, your business." I mean, it's surprising. What do you call here? Our phone order for EPA for environmental approval certificate.
Okay.
Person was a business EPA for no more certificate. Saying a which year. In fact, na ebi mu kura to be di matem say me no mo boye den. Wa bra nya me na meji afa meji ama ekwa aban ho.
Me boarding pa.
I will not deceive you. And yesterday, like this, I was speaking to some of their guys, and they themselves are worried. And they were even telling me, I hope it's true. I was thinking that it's just, they were telling me, say, so we deported, even they say we renew now deported by just 1 day, which you have time what you are supposed to pay.
Wow.
And very hard. And see, if you are a young person and you want to start business in Ghana, it's sometimes very difficult. And I think these are some of the things we have to look at. This is cost of doing business in Ghana, no, favorable to some extent. But I think that there's more we can do because as it stands now, no, the way a man, any bit here, no, I think I was about not or you be. Oh, because a be hard drink a crack.
Okay, cost of doing business. It brings me to cost of credit, loan. Yeah. Now, economy is showing signs of recovery. We have seen a CD is stable for some time, inflation in form. But you impact on interest rates and cost of credit. And I know, sir, investor bia for Ghana, interest rates, so baby akwa investment interest rates alone, ujina no super di anko nchusu Ghana meboa.
Of course. Interest rate on loan, the cost of borrowing, a very important indicator. Because business person wouldn't him that him and I wouldn't him that with demand for your goods or service. And because will be here loan be at the actual washing. Now say Okobobo say say you didn't okay see one. It will go business cry. I think say they are now attributing the high cost of borrowing, to loan default rate. But in recent times, there was a Bank of Ghana that I think the Babuama default because there are a number of factors that you consider when setting interest rate. Number one, a risk, and I pay compensation to Nimpa or Dinisika, and then probably inflation.
Okay.
Because who was 1,000 and then now we need 1,000 no. Na say 1 man time who could na say what to me and turn no matter one ka between the atona and na obi a wodu sika man no. I was say to me edit sika beka ho a bet me aketa for inflation. But then what shows so far all the macroeconomic indicators inflation from exchange rate from it's not one major thing ebia na ebema banks na ka say interest rate was na financial institutions no aka say interest rate was no risk that risk factor and it's a risk factor there then it has to do with regulations ebeboama default level no akofom. Now, in recent times, me would say even with a personal loan, no, I would say we not guarantees with a bank, and it's a Bank of Ghana a year. My hope is that so when to me in a year, the level of default, no, form. The level of default, no, conform. A bank, no, a benya hotos will be asset interest rates, no, very very low. Me no work say a boom around 20-25% near the other. For personal loans, because I have personal loans no from in business loan because of the risk difference. I have a business loan no risk no what's saying. Personal loans now what they pay slip in government salaries. I don't propose no the no from but I am hoping say I will say to me eba below 20% because after all yeah can say treasury bill rate 91-day bill no about 9% or so. It's treasury bill 9%. Now, Obabusia. Now, what they do 16%, 18% per annum. Better, but still, now I was through. I think there was a Bank of Ghana, no, or to me, people that engagement in the financial sector. Now, yeah, sure can be at the interest rate number form because it doesn't make sense with all the downward trends in the macroeconomic variable movement. We are still having this level of interest rate. I think it's not fair.
You think it is not fair. Now, what do you make of reforms our presidency proposing with regards to GIPC and Shishayeno? Currently, Opesel Bay Investor or Ghana, per the threshold, was ropa, and the president seeks to make the point, say, Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act, the minimal capital investments requirements in every hall, so that investors with as little as $100,000, $50,000, it beats me about Ghana, about setting up businesses. And no, Mibusa say, is there not a certain danger? As if say, we're making it extremely easy for anybody to move in to set up a business. What dangers be? Expose your minor in terms of your vulnerabilities be. How do we ensure say a mass influx of so-called investors? Here were investors be what's your thoughts on that?
No, yeah, again, to some extent, dangerous. It should not be a wholesale thing. It should not be general. When I say wholesale thing, I'm talking about the various sectors of the economy.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, and I like the way you picked it from. I mean, you are making a lot of sense. And that was my initial thought. Say, how could this be possible? Because there were some sectors Ghanaians are already doing well there, and the economy is already thriving. We don't need foreign competitors to compete with that. Unless, of course, he wants them to operate like what is happening on the Free Zone Board or the Free Zones Authority or whatever it is.
Okay.
Because for those people, they produce, but they don't sell in Ghana. They sell outside. But if and the initial impression was that those are the free zones, One more so the target was employment. Not one more not some a woman to a truck council. But then they will export so that they don't sell here and compete with the local producers. If that is what he is referring to, that I have no difficulty with. But some of the sectors are already doing well. If you also come foreigners back, they will only come and compete with them. At the end of the day, these people will convert their money, their profits into dollars and still sell it to their country, and it will have dire consequences on our currency. So my point is that we should target areas. If it's a Ghanaians, and I say locally, no, it should be based on certain necessity.
Okay.
But yet me and see minimum capital requirement left to go totally. That wouldn't be in our best interest. But let's scan through the economy. Let's diagnose which areas are running ineffectively. And I say here such intervention, then we can remove the requirement from there for them to be able to have, for us to be able to have improvement in those sectors. And that is my take on that. And I think that your concerns are genuine, and the government should not just do it anyhow as we are proposing that.
And okay, Krano, I was just scanning through my mind. Sector Sibia, Ghana 4 year, dear Hopa, I was deliberately protected one nation. For instance, the pharmaceutical industry, for instance. About 90% of pharmaceutical factories in Ghana are Ghanaian owned. And so who could use a minimum capital requirement if you are India companies see on do of pharmaceuticals in Beba, and they may be getting cheaper loans in their country to come and set up. Now, your local pharmaceutical companies may not be able to compete. Thanks for that expatiation and that explanation also. Now, after one concept, you hope is a be the gateway for Africa business. And minim what work you've done so far in terms of accessibility to the African market. In terms of Ghana, Yankasa companies, whether we are really taking advantage of after. Because President, the Japanese investors to tell them, say, look, and yet Ghana and Kona be set up or target it through after. There is almost a $1.9 billion market omubetimi access. These are foreign companies we are wooing. But Yankasa Ghanaian companies, are we taking advantage of that after we are now?
You see, we do not have the strength to properly take advantage of it.
Okay.
Ghanaians are afraid of partnerships. Ghana niye juma. Officer, onon pobie the juma ni onon kwane dia to kwana if you are. Benya a juma bit me produce bebre nanka I export it to other countries. We don't have much of such firms in Ghana, and that is my problem. You see, and it me in my period of consultancy, me who say who to be for say on your partnership, or say better than to qua and the word of the like very funny.
Yankasa Yehuni.
Yehuni, what don't attach a class of lawyers, baby, better people the medium in Pama Sushibia. I say, Dimpano or to the Otiana, we would not business negu with a debt. Oh, yet me and produce and Trey and Tabe Monti, yes. African markets, I can water no. Ghana Nagasapono. In all the regions, how much are we distributing? Let alone exporting to other African countries. Our businesses do not have the muscle to produce in very large quantities to be taking proper advantage of this market. But if you are President they will have capital to be doing what will be enough to export to those African countries and no more contracts, and they can take advantage of the market and, of course, economies of scale. And also, yet to be a dumping, and yet, and we look at why only other foreign countries, it to me, I didn't know my back. No money cheaper than any locally manufactured product.
And then the money basa.
It is also because of what we call dumping.
Dumping.
And it's a very simple strategy.
How does it work?
Mamefa Obia, Oton Kelewele. Any examples, any very in the Betiasia.
Okay.
Ebia Kelewele, copied in a BB Kelewele. BB Kelewele, not Officer quiet dumping. Nigeria. It's the obeying say target a certain profit margin, say be afimui, represent $1 billion, and then the target. And then the target be Ghana had a popular I had me home base.
Okay.
Mamento a handful of Kelewele bia ABR $2. Mamento a handful of Kelewele bia $2. Now many more profit. Now me the Nigeria, but me do Nigeria, they mean 10 cents of dollars fra ebeka the menya wa han ho a ebia me hit me target.
Okay.
In the side ya me do Nigeria me turn to $2. Not on ebia $1.50.
Okay.
Okay. Me ya the I'll be able to compete with those there. Now me profit that's no ebia Ghana ha menya $1 profit a handful that. And when the menya be 1 cent per. But I make you compete with the local guys there. But the ebe bo am say bet me mama fa and normally be bree. So me fa normally be menya discount.
Okay.
And there can be economies of scale. Once I produce in large quantities, many economies of scale. Now, if my told you, but me call Ammonia, and my partner, many credit.
Hello. Oh, Doc. Como eu de pai na home say. Hello, Doc.
You are a one feedback. But also the Ghana for no normally lower grade. But with the same, which we have to high grade product be cheaper in Africa. Obeko US and I say you can be on one side of and it is because of dumping. They are only looking at a certain profit margin, and so they have reduced their price strategically to make small level of profit and add it to their home profit, and then they are off to go.
And also, no new chrome no turn about them, but to define new chrome what price and so.
What the price is so? And what the price is so affected because the other turn one one of my raw materials need be not a reduced cost. Since I go back to
okay.
Oh, it's overall no not the cost about from Kakramano. That we get a profit now, and that is why we call it economic dumping. Some of these foreign companies are able to do that. But and businessman now we look to our own because the obviously Aja put a consultant on yet. They are good to go. So these are some of the problems we face as a nation. But I'm sure time will tell.
Very well. But I want to believe, sir, on the whole, what the president is doing in Japan, quite positive, or Tongan a year with all the selling propositions, what they told or they pitch Ghana, as a business consultant and as an economist. Of course, he's marketing Ghana a year with these indicators, Anna.
He's doing a fantastic job. I think he's selling Ghana well, and we need to commend him for that. My only hope is that Wamoba abandoned behind him. And look, when they Google that one more say, Magdan, they could do the Yegu. And the sound of Manuswa, it doesn't send good signal. We should, as Ghanaians and as business players, we should also be careful how we handle some of these situations. You understand? Because so why we need in this man? I don't know the full story about it, but my point is that Meche say Emrebi. Yebubu amabo bi so dan saa another former regime and then Yebubu bi dan saa but these things and any good signal, you understand, because who can nipa so be Google okay what is happening in Ghana and on our business front. So we should be lenient with ourselves and we should be up and doing when it comes to some of these things.
And that means say injustice system, in terms of adjudicating business disagreements and a case in point is engineers and planners if we black voter where and sometimes it's natural say how will this brand Ghana in terms of investors or more confidence in our legal system to get justice anytime it be local partners being assem. But I appreciate your time and thoughts this afternoon, Doc.
Thank you very much for the time.
Dr. Evans Nunu, an economist or sanso a business analyst. You just heard him. Oche Nadrin Ewo, President John Dramani Mahama's trip to Japan and Tonga Wotong Ghana, any the way our preso binya investors raba no musika abeshe economy ni mu. Near ojina so dia Tong Ghana yedi hun komo na Ghana cedi no ne niema ojina so nyina no opani akire na adwene ewo ho so adwenkyire bi a obetimi dia ba Facebook na makenkan ni nyina da ede amawo. Now, my phone called Dr. Zeng Asuye, Dr. Zeng Deodorant. By now, you know this name, and this name has ring the bell. And bell ring a bell of freshness, a bell of chemical free deodorant. A bell of long-lasting deodorant. Dr. Zeng deodorant in American for the amount. We a deodorant a chemical free. Ye free Eugenia chlorophyll flower nimu. Say enra mebusa say unim chlorophyll na juma ya anka wakope bi dedenden. Efridiam na sa chlorophyll no eyi enka hodo. Ye de sa chlorophyll ya bonkofo a sebe omanu mu nka. Eye yade a wo mako a enko. Nti ukokro mu ko pharmacy sa your chlorophyll pills. A obetimi afa obi a owo halitosis ebeyi na free ho. Sa chlorophyll ya na de aye Dr. Zeng deodorant. Se omotu omu mfifire kankan no efi ene enka eja wo ho no Dr. Zeng deodorant embeyi mfiri ho ema. We use Dr. Zeng deodorant a last for 7 days. We use na nenumere akwakoda for 7 days. We use deodorant for biem. Dr. Zeng na mu no san use biem. One time use now use and 7 days actually and san abesa apply biem. Na ne wo mu nie. Bebu sase na medware a enhohoro da bi. 7 days dware fasapotwitwu motu mu ye ne obeye bia. Dr. Zeng eda so ebo omotu mu eho ban. Nti talk to them. Ebi ana pedodo na etu, ebi ana pekakra bia yusu, ebi ana pe bia mane o mane wo boarding school no. When they are teenagers and they are active, eya no mo omuhu fifiri na no ohyepa. Ma Dr. Zeng deodorant and deal with sa problem no emma wo. Stay fresh, stay natural, stay pure. Obetimi afre ana obe WhatsApp Dr. Zeng deodorant for on 0544 767691 0544 767691 and 0599 032 5599. Dr. Zeng natural deodorant. Stay pure, stay sustainable. Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding 2026 edition no. Ye fia se ye ahomboaboa e de ahia. Na ne womu nie se oni oba netie bia makọ akohu abusuafo watu ni tirinsa ana wakọbọ kokoko ba don koye no ho ade wo pe kwan bia nka obeye no ho ade ahyoba na nimonyam nanso kwan che de fe edi sika na eye ebi sika nti you can't go beyond kokoko na akọbọ e roba nso ne na wo baako one na wo mienu miensa kora ba ma fofo ankora hye yefunu mu na brantie kokoko akọbọ e no afa ho na ade oba de wo saa no eda asembesi no asoba ehio. Take advantage of Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding 2026 dear no. Na bra ne yamboa wo so wasene ne yenye animonyam hye wedding fefe fam free of charge. Eye free. Emeka say free eye free because a car wo bebo wo mu 1,000 Ghana cedis per registration form. With 1,000 Ghana cedis, you organize a wedding now. You organize a my friend is saying wedding reception. You organize decor. Photography. Any bibia o makeup abaya watade abehye mpabu abehye car mo betina mu hotel amokoda kodi honeymoon. Aduane a awoho beba umbedie. Chese ya kan ya den ya fa kari nyina. Just pay 1,000 cedis to pick up your form. There is counseling as well. You will standby counselors over the years. Omo abua atete awafoi ama omawade aye fair. Na 20 years ni ena ye share Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding I say, and we've been at it and we're improving. 2026 there no is just around the corner. Say what dum pempen so a opese oya wade ni yie na oware yie ekwan so a ne mum sika na wuni a miawani between now and kopim December. Raise your 1,000 cedis and come and let's do the rest for you. One TBBA say and now pay more details. If you cry, you make two person making sure say no cry. My mama 2 numbers in a frame. You can check it out yourself. 0244 906 235. And on the first number be frame 0244 906 235. And also be frame 0302 254 858. 0302 254 858. Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding 2026. Yes, sir. Our on another level. And yeah, don't know. Semina ben are you so me sure son to some madam for no de umujare no. Semina ye di senior man na udi dware. As a who see nipadua no see skin no. No wonder said they be na wo ho atwintwam. No wonder sa branti ababa wa kama on search nyina amoamoa chen obi a wode ne search nante. Eye semina na adi dware na because ni edi senior man no stain removing enzymes are ewo mu to say ne wo jama mu no ano ohye. Nti wo de kan skin na upra wo ho. Semina ye di dware pa no. Alive soap. Gentle on your skin. Refresh your skin, no. It invigorates your skin. And our skin, no, nome. You say it moisturizes your skin. Now, when you name a Alive soap, name him pao. Na ni hwamo no, enye baako, enye mienu, ye were different scents. Ye were Alive soap ni bia, ni hwamo no to say kube. Unze kube so unique scent pa ehwam pa de me yemfa kube anwa enso ayi chansi musisi a ekombedo habe hwam nam kam chiro ye de coconut bi kube bia ye alive soup ye de bia ye de aloe vera so ye bi and they say aloe vera de no aloe vera was some gentle scent bia yo unya anya bad kra it calms your nerves ye wone de ewo ho ena ye sanso wo ba ko bi nso a ni hwam no te se lemon eno ye fomo a moye adwumu a sebe ede nka bremo bia woton nam on saade no adwuma a woye no ede nka brew pon a fa alive soup ko dware obiti public ya no framane se bofa no ho ani kofia na nwonso angoda aba fa alive soup dware ne yi sa senti ni nyina free ho so what I say na wonna no emunye kama ye wo ba ko bi nso ne scent ne te say rose rose flower no aha ehwiam pa eno kwa ne ayi flower nkofo title eya na wo mu hwia rose de no nso ewo ho na live soap ya bu ene shop bi abewura mu bi asome pa live soap ebu nyope bia obenya bi scent ahodo nyina bi enso ewo ho eno ti ne e kan for ma say grab an alive soap today from any shop near you and feel the difference. Alive soap, feel fresh, feel alive.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Well. It's about time. Let me introduce my guest to you. Wana aba studio ha aje omedwa na mame Emma wo mu akwaba. Matise omo prepare omo minimu anisa. Memo omo akwaba na eja emfa ene enkomo no enhyehyɛ so. Ama samamburu ni atena se Kamadin. Ni din Kamadin ni de ayera wo. Ama samamburu ni na take over. Ena ama yesi ama samamburu ni ba wo ho. Yesi ama sama ene waba bruni ti ha. Ukwada bia ama samamburu ni wa ha. Nitrim Boedin so atena se or a member of the NDC's communication team. And the very first day I'm share Papa, I've loved his style of communication. Capture me producer said, make sure you don't lose this man. And since then, he's been at it. Netrain. Come on, Ding. Yeah. Mamo ahama mwajo.
Ya joso.
Na boko die.
Bibi bia boko. Nanso meka de ba ko bi.
We share yin na. Me share bi.
Oh, boys. Me started say me tie Happy FM.
Yeah.
Ache.
Okay.
Me kai na man BS Sports wa ha. Ntina tie Happy FM pa.
Okay, man Ding.
Me fika.
We have had Charles Osesi.
That is it.
Okay.
I think I'm wrestling president now.
Yes. Barrister.
And some of us, there is no way we will disregard and bring the name of this station into disrepute. Last week, something happened here.
Yeah.
And I think, Yankan wants someone yet. And for those who listened to us last week, Wednesday, and on person mutin sempa, the echo so echo chono. I think we apologize to listeners profusely. Sir, Ebin CBM will come and base it on issues, and that will be the case.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Kamadin,
my baby,
you were the mediator that day.
Yeah, literally used we. Because you, because the other party is not here.
Yes. You are right.
But baby, but my straight here for me, cold kakra, and my voice change. Oh no, it's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine. Just that. Maybe my voice in the way I'm expecting.
I will regulate it. For now, the colder it gets, the more your nostrils will be blocked.
That's fine. So, my chairman, summer constituency for
beyond the code, so you're okay there.
Yeah, malaria be kafra. It's fine.
Malaria they say Ghana for yari. I don't know. So,
me chairman constituency. Then me search a friend say Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bamia.
Okay.
Your parliament presidential candidates. The most marketed and the most prepared, the most formidable for the next election come 2028. So we beg of all polling station delegates or you're involved in voting for the next presidential primary, say consistency pace. So we played that Emre Drua, they will highly favor Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bamia to continue to lead the charge for the new patriotic party.
Now, what in your course of social media for Alhaji Dr. Bawumia
concerning
a fancy comedian ya wako hagini ko fortune aboso pa o say na obi a o general secretary akosra NDC4 na o ka kire wo mo say sansem na party mani bi ko kan no o mo nsoso womo condemn now it does not reflect the values of MPP, and I found that to be very good. Say Justin Kodua call NDC for or you're so bold to denounce Sadia and call them out. Then police for Chabranti near the idea money bill. Then you see this on the front page of newspapers, social media, about Facebook and a fancy comedian, President former Vice President. Ahagene de dindi. Ebi say he's endorsing atemudidie, threats and uncivilized way of talking.
But Bibi, I'm totally surprised. You have joined.
I haven't joined. I'm asking you.
You basically joined.
I'm telling you what is happening and I'm picking your thoughts.
You should be an educator on this program.
Education.
No, but you are the host of a program. There are certain things you clarify to listeners. And yes, sir.
Me need some information.
So, but you know, say, fancy comedy. And no cast any issue. On any platform, no hosting. And I say, I think Ghana Jollof also, the lady. Ebe use the platform and make his comment, and on my lady retract here.
Fancy
comedy. On Ankasano the next I said no, I said that very day said the next day he made a video apologizing, say his platform and a girl used to make his comment into or pacho. And I said he himself never said anything. His arrest was basically say or created that medium and they use it. Just like what happened last week. My brother apologized for it. You didn't play any role, but maybe you apologize to listeners that day because it's the platform. I been Philly say maybe you should regulate the way and untoward way happening. Before we even apologize, you the host will stand
like I did last week.
Exactly.
So you reject the point he said or endorses Sadia?
No, but Fancy Comedy himself, any person who see Dr. Kohagino. On Kashi.
And you mean I'm so hagi.
But we are all educating people. A lot of the people think say Fanti Comedy Akasembi.
Okay.
On Ankasana Num say he never uttered any word against the president with regards to say.
But I'm not lady near cancer or restraining no.
Or restraining no. Or my lady ne pachompo on.
Is there evidence?
Yes.
Okay.
He again. Let's also add it to listeners. Say Fanti Comedy was not arrested. He himself went there. Get the difference,
no presenting no.
Onankasa
but was he invited?
Maybe Onankasa Onama Oboga we crying guy now ex bongo ideas. Also Onama na onya information be a poppy as if said they are tracking him. And Okohu ni lawyer. Say no, this is ne AC. Ama osro otika cry no ohun
onya
messages be that kind of. And on ni lawyer call police CID to go and make a complaint. So oha not say and I can say who crampo did that and show. So this is the difference.
I see.
And that's all no Kabibi. But or catch the police for say, even me that's a video on me TikTok, so say, me apologizing for say me platform the lady no use the cars and someone was say on car, not say necessarily say me na me car. So that must be established. So if this person has been detained, in fact, no court has pronounced him guilty.
That's right.
He's not a convict. So for Dr. Bamia to hack this person, and I said, Ghana law, and I have friends say, "Yenya amount for more prison service for rehabilitation, so that people can come back of prison and come and fit into the society." So why are we making it look like he's a convict? He's still not been charged. The next thing the court can even decide, say, Obeba the next appearance. So now I can say we through case now way. So where lies this?
Okay.
You have a minister of health who went and hacked somebody who has assaulted nurses. That's even the shocking. When they are there, it's on video. Say Onankasa creating mayhem. You had the minister hugging him, and then the moon can ask him. Obi a court in them pronouncing guilty. We see Dr. Bamiako hugging into who committed the crime. Obi and Tida. Since when? Has it to the sense that me tie guy way so onusu kasabi Vamo said Oliver so Bakavamo. It took Nolly prosecutor to throw your case out. Who case no kran heavy.
Okotu police for Safari.
There be okay ku asema.
Yeah.
The highest crime in the land, high treason.
So ono abeba be yoku no Ghana. Say Ghana for Ghana army timi ni
whether obe kan ube inside to obi ube kwa akoto obi any role bi ube play in coup making no. We are guilty. Even me tina ha na me use me medium cry edikan. The next minute I can be arrested or invited for questioning. And no crowd work and crowd uninam ho. Still they give you platforms to still come and talk. Nobody is harassing you. Talk less of obia or no. Once a TikTok sometimes no oh yes say me ye ebinum send way me accept no na the next minute where it be a speaker by the time I end the way no unfortunately I have to still apologize. So let us see it in that regard, but for political purposes no I'm say why is it said Dr. Bamiako Hagin what's the offense, what's the big deal?
All right, it's not a big deal, you say. Nitrain,
Baby,
you definitely have a different opinion.
I will speak the truth. Alaji, let me continue. To distinguish it from the falsehood being peddled.
Okay.
First of all, I think Dr. Bawumia is not an ordinary Ghanaian.
Yes, of course.
We're the vice president. Apart from that, we're acting, I think we're deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana.
Yeah.
And he's talking about high-profile Ghanaians. He's part of them.
Sure.
I see meeting Fanti Comedy and hugging him, no, based on the issue at hand, no, as the highest level of irresponsibility. And I'll explain to you why. Dr. Bawumia are exhibiting high-level irresponsibility as a statesman. First of all, logical simply say the guy has not been charged. It is palpable falsehood. And you know correct.
Charge Benny Abono.
Thank you.
I'm not saying
City
not been convicted.
No. You see, Alaji, I was listening to you.
Listen to what I said. I said the next week can go to
the guy
court.
even turned himself in. He has not been charged. No, Alaji, you mentioned that.
I said he wasn't arrested. He himself went there.
Alaji, please allow me.
No, let me distinguish.
Let me
distinguish.
Okay,
Alaji, let me distinguish.
Charge Benny Abono.
I said, sir,
yes,
he himself went there to lodge a complaint only for the police.
Okay.
And I mean, see, even this guy has not been found guilty. Court the next week, and court I say.
So you are aware he's been charged?
Oh yeah, police they've charged him. That's why he's been arraigned before court.
Thank you. You see, I mean, kind something from a credible news portal, my sister station, City Newsroom.
Yeah.
I'll take the first two paragraphs. I'll say an Accra High Court has granted a bail to TikTok personality Prince Ofuri, also known as Fanti Comedy, to the sum of 100,000 cedis with 3 sureties. I'll say, as part of the bail condition, the suspect, caught now. Fanti Comedy was arrested on Tuesday, 12 August, together with 2 others in connection with allegation of issuing death threats and publishing false news linked to the August 6 helicopter crash. You see, in fallacy, there is something we refer to as somebody with authority giving credence to nonsense. Bawumia is an authority. Court are granted to be bail. For threatening the president of the republic. So be catcher will say, share Fanti Comedy platform no so. one threaten president and in Panabua. It's not true.
Or no as a person.
Yes, I have watched the TikTok video.
Okay.
He can provide what he was saying. So one threaten Obia. You see, there were other people on the platform, TikTok Live. No, there were more than 3.
Yeah.
That's Jollof Nokan and other woman, no? And other about 4 or 5 people also. So if Fanti Comedy's platform, Bibi, was only used to propagate that particular issue now, I don't think he'll be arrested. When Fanti Comedy was actually released on bail, who an interview now?
David.
The Okayane said he will continue to do what he did because of opposition. And I believe, sir, we're the vice president for 8 years. I won't even run. Sebe, Obia Sem will court na yedi. Inyan Ninwe. Now the allegation said he wants to eliminate the president. Now with the cameras, you are hugging him. It sends one signal.
Onipa or the allegation say be president in the year.
Thank you very much. But me say, but me say, Fanti Comedy.
So Fanti Comedy attributed to Fanti Comedy.
Listen to
So
me.
now he has agreed.
Yes, you're asking me a question. I'm answering you. Fanti Comedy also made comments to show say of Wasu. Yes, as someone can say Alaji, allow me please. Fanti Comedy made comments in the video. I had stress of Wasu.
But more video now.
We can get it.
Of Wasu say Sebe. Yen come and penny.
And then no can stress of Wasu.
You see, when the woman made the comment, the Okayan say, Mampenny created an I have watched the video. So if someone tells me, say, Fanti Comedy said nothing,
what he said
did nothing about the video
yesterday.
That is not true. And secondly, you see, sir, Obia was suffered the most humiliating defeat in recent elections. Maybe I was so pressed if the MPP delegates, you become the flag bearer again. No?
Yeah.
You don't do this thing. You don't appear to be supporting people who are seen as miscreants. Maybe I think that it's about time leaders in the country, who say they are leaders and they must act responsibly. First of all, if Baumia is, let's say, my relative, I would like it. But what he did in the cameras, hugging this guy who has been charged, is very irresponsible. And I think, sir,
he's been charged.
Thank you.
He's not guilty.
Thank you very much. You see, sir,
because he's been charged.
No, I will not say that.
Okay.
You see, there are a lot of things I won't
Okay.
There are some things you know in your head. You won't say it on air.
Of course. It's in some so.
Thank you very much. And on say bonnet and I say bonnet. But the fact that in the full glare of the public, somebody who has been giving wide condemnation in the media landscape, so one can say, for you to go and hug such a person, it simply means one thing, that you are supporting something that or a true trust them. And I believe that on a second thought, if there are people advising Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, a respected politician, economist, he should come again. What he did was completely unacceptable.
Right. Okay. So you have been asking for the video.
Bibi, I heard Fanti Comedy.
Let's use the time.
No, but he's giving you time more than he's giving me.
Yeah, but
he's giving you time more than he's giving me.
How many
but I'm watching from my time here. The time I end.
Kamadin,
yes.
You've been asking for the video and all of that.
Yeah.
We have the video, but I cannot play back that video. Meet me more answer already.
No. I'm not saying you should. What I'm saying is that in the video now, okay, Fanti Comedy himself, any nipa oka asem no.
I heard him saying it. I heard him saying it.
Okay, so the thing is that
his platform was used to convey that message.
It's about Okaye, also Anka. Let the police do their job.
Thank you.
I think the point for me was Niaman for Kafa Dr. Baumia
that is what I'm saying, sir.
I wish I could produce the video for all of us to analyze it, but me boba can me repeat it.
The same thing. So I'm coming. Mitie Fanti Comedy interview. I was sempaso. Oka say, or no personally no wanka. Oh, oka say me ma akwa. But say Hagina. Dr. Baumia Eko Hagin according to Nietzsche, and a height of irresponsibility.
Yeah.
Oh, then let's go it this way. Yet your mind way mo. Radio presenter set na radio so. A threaten judges. President, sitting president, a grant to amnesty. Ene, Baku, a board member. There, or your board member. Say, say your height of irresponsibility. Among for demonstration. Chanti, Nyami kumnana do mayo kumba umyamayo. And then they are board members of Gold Board. Me banamite how you were praising Sami Jenfi. Today, that's a height of irresponsibility. So we better catch the sitting president. Said Nyami Nkunu. Now I have one appointment. A lot of the ministers, then no man can find another. So if that is the tangent you are going there, then the president has behaved. Say we cry a vice president. What's the role of a vice president in the constitution? How is it captured? Very well. The one we even entrusted power in his hands. Basically, if I want to go, I'm even finding difficulty for me to say the president is behaving responsibly. I can. It's yes. To say that who can lightly. We in the MPP we've not been brought up that way. So me tena haka say sitting president I talk about man. Presented now radio so. I see the next chartered flight up and nanado bekwa kwatine mu no. Nyame nkuno we wie mu mai. All these things. Yet you people are with them. Oliver Munu why mobile and then only prosecute and Obi or state with the highest treason crack. My filing only prosecute. That's the height of irresponsibility. Ye capital punishment every year. And yes, sir. But the only thing still standing is treason. If responsibility is anything to go by, the Attorney General has behaved highly responsible for filing only prosecute for Oliver. So let us not go there at all.
But you better also now. Me from come and so herbal sentence say a war and a war. What we pre unya war. Be oba o problem o menses flow no enye consistent. E be an asiatica ne wo ha. What was intini ne ye ya. E be a stroke, hepatitis B. Ana ya de fufuru bia. Mansoa herbal clinic sebra na omo de ahaban ebe kan ama ya de no omo tu ase kra. Ono se yade no wo de achie na wunya no adura Mansoa Herbal Center de o last stop. O se me masika ne how bebre di kan bra na yehu yade no na yenka sika asem na chiri na sika ebetu nipa bio Mansoa Herbal Clinic sebra no mo New Fadama Washing Bay ho no mo a benchi fi mam ho o mo de se oni omo bekọ na o yade no wakoton de ama wo mo so wan ton wo yade a unya ano edro frɛ wo mo e was 0557 562 988 and 0555 165 797. Mansoa Herbal Clinic, experience care that truly understands you at Mansoa Herbal Clinic. President Mahama said CDNO is the best performing currency in the world as of this year. Many Dr. Evans Nunu Kasai, I sought to find out what it means. So we better say currency be a best performing. And I'll say, and so that a best performing currency in term, any currency, the exchange rate, a wasro in India. Okay. What's this you know for a very long time? It has always played second fiddle to all major trading currencies. Okay. But in the last 5 months or so, consistently, you say CD free about from 17 cedis to $1. About do 10.5. And at 10.5 in the bedu, you know, at consistently. And to say, oh, share area currencies are within that time. Etimi again, a ejina baby ujina consistently, then you can say a best performing. But say what the SAS currency now to other currencies in terms of exchange rate, you can say the CD a best performing currency as against other currencies. And you say if it makes sense.
It makes sense from the professor's angle.
Okay, but it doesn't make sense from whose angle.
When it comes to the president, there are certain words I won't use on him. All that I seek to understand from president's angle. What does he also mean by saying it's best performing? Is it the stability or say strong enough in terms of purchases or what? Like, I also want to understand from the president's perspective.
Maybe I would have to quote the president for you because he gives that clarity when he talks about
we can delve into the
being
issue.
The best performing currency. before I phone if you studio, madam. Jemima, come for your phone. Before I ban if you are. Okay, so the president says this, and I think it will bring the clarity you are seeking.
Yeah.
Or say, and he gives the background. So for those of you who know the history of the Ghanaian cedi, it's been one of the most volatile currencies in Africa. And a few years back, we were said to be the worst performing currency.
Okay.
I am happy to announce that this year, the Ghana cedi has been the best performing currency in the world. I'm sure, sir, this answers the question,
No.
Anna.
So it is best performing in terms of stability or in terms of purchasing power. That is what I want to understand.
But ne waka wa he
Ne
or say
Uh-huh.
mu nyina mu nim say Africa ha yen sika no one of the worst performing. Volatile because enyina faako and ene exchange rate betimi ay 10.5 next week we won't say asesa. But also we are happy to tell you say afiwe cedi num behave say hasn't been volatile. It has been stable and consistent at it.
That is a fact.
Is that not
So
the answer
the
you're
stability
looking for?
has to do with the exchange rate, not in terms of purchasing power. That is all that I want to, the clarity now.
Make your point.
Because all this one, so say your best performing now, it has to be best performing in terms of purchasing power. The fact that it's stable doesn't mean that its purchasing power is strong.
He was not talking about purchasing power or say ne volatility, stability.
So stability has to do. How do you?
And na papa ni che mu say best performing ne say na wonyade, but consistently you have shown improvement.
So the improvement
That
has to do with
stability.
the comparison to the dollar. That's why I'm saying that when it comes to the forex there, that is where you can justify. But in terms of purchasing power, in Ghana here, what is it reflecting? That's what I'm saying. In terms of stability, that managed stability, we all know IMF and World Bank is telling the government to stop injecting dollars into the system. Within, and also I read somewhere that we made about 9-point-something billion from sales of goods and other things, and now it's only about 5-point-something that is left. About 4 point thereabout. I've forgotten the thereabout has been pumped in terms of to stabilize the city. So basically, the stability we are seeing is some kind of an artificial thing but that's a reality. They are manipulating the figure because one, if your city is strong against the dollar, importers. I hope you've interviewed some. Go to the banks today and say you need $10,000 and see whether you can get it. Unless you go to the black market.
I think the issue is not about availability of dollar.
I'm talking about you. You said best performing. Is that not it?
And he set the parameters.
So if it is best performing,
currency volatility.
If something is best performing, right? If last year it was worse, and this water was 3 cedis last year, and it is best performing, and the water is now 4 cedis. What's the best performing?
It was
How
17,
do we just suppose
it was
that?
17, now it is 10.
You are talking. As a last year, you said the president said it was not performing. It was our city for some time now. I'm paraphrasing the president. Our city for some time now has been one of the worst performing currencies in Africa. Is that not it? And according to him, this year the city is one of the best performing. And I'm using his own parameters or his own words that it is best performing. When it was worse, so way now 3 cities. Best so way 4 cities outside. One year the cheap only 350. Is that not it? City best go to the market and see.
Currency volatility, what you say?
I don't mean volatility.
But they may busasa because of a question I'm coming to ask. Say investors and importers, what is their biggest concern in this country?
The exchange.
The rate at which the cedi changes
depreciates
in relation to the dollar.
Yeah.
So investor now for 3 months obetimi a particular exchange rate are planning. Is that not stability?
But that's what I'm saying, sir. That if you use that, Ghana, you know factually it's not accurate because baby ukra rate na best no. The 10 point and baby and yes it's a nukra say 11 thereabout no. Who rate na okra no investor no on from that source. So he has to now go and rely on a different source where it is much expensive than what you are quoting. And then Any bank within Ghana.
Until at the end of the day, so the 10.5.
So only 10.5 na plan here. Only 12 point be another 13.
That's your point.
No, but so how is it best if who took one and me see me bank I bet me and from morning to evening we bet me $10,000.
But we hear dollar in the idea.
But say okay importer.
Yeah,
importers
but
you
send it through the banking system. You don't need physical dollars for anything.
But a lot of our importers, you know,
importing the regulation is that what they will documents about sikadodu a uhiano. It is wired to the receiving bank in the country you are going to import from. We had physical dollar. That's what the government is trying to control.
So for the first time, this is what you've been in this country. Importers tell you when they go to change, this is the rate they get. Is that not it? And I'm telling you, you are given the ideal situation, which I agree with you.
Okay.
But you know what our importers do? They don't wear, because some of them will tell you, one bank charges, bureaucracy, delays, and other things. So they really want to carry the.
So why won't you go through the banking system?
But it's the banking system. They have to streamline. It's not for me. It's government that's supposed to streamline. Because for myself, I don't understand why maybe importers will be going to say China, and they need dollars. When maybe government to government, we can negotiate with their Exim Bank and maybe Bank of Ghana, so that if it is a yuan conversion, you transfer it directly into an account.
That's what they do now.
That's what I'm saying. I really don't have it because I know a lot of Chinese people and people who go to Turkey. They'll tell you that looking for dollars, and I ask that these two countries have become major trading countries for Ghana. So why won't government come in and see how they can be using their currency so that it will lessen the pressure? Because now unti amount for people say me call UK, me call US, China, Turkey. Thailand, Turkey, and I think Vietnam. Those about 4 countries. See, a whole investment. So when it comes to their currencies, yet me I find a way to solve it will lessen the pressure.
So oko first enyama ba na pay a good rate. The best advice is to go through the banking system. Ubenya 10.5. But say what's a physical dollar there, then you book abuchwa kutua 13.
So I will say at a time when no afraid importers nubi. Penny for no associate no don't want to. Why are they complaining? Say they are not getting the dollar.
And I can say.
So if the Bank of Ghana or any bank can transfer for them, how come they are not getting and they are going to Abuja?
No, the bank will transfer for you all my cash. But some of these traders are going for dollar cash.
Bibi, look,
what's the difference?
I'm telling you, I didn't want to start here. No.
Be aware. And
this is an ideal theory we are here preaching.
No, this is what
every time
almost say when no more they stop dollarization.
Then you are even exposing the NDC the more because when NDC was in opposition, they were not using the bank rates to tell us a dollar and I'm 70 and 60 and 40. They were using the black market. Meanwhile, they knew some importers were using the banks. How can they were quoting the black market? When did you ever hear say NDC was quoting interbank rate? They were always quoting the black market. When they were saying dollar was 16, do you think it was 16 in interbank? No. So then let us help their argument today because they are in power. They now know you have to channel it. And if it were to be so, how can importers are saying that say we go to the bank and the dollars are not there? It might happen. So don't mean investigation. It might happen. Say even for them to get it to be transferred to them, it takes time because for instance. Ebe onu trading partner watch and unima bro for timeline ebe waka chen say ne by 12 ni sabeka ni sika wako bank say afe na ebia obenya sika from Bank of Ghana the more a delay na ebia what penalties bia obetua on that is what is making them on radio TV. You are hearing them talking. If it were to be smooth uncle would you say bank scour hopper na importers me call na ya wire more simple with lower rate.
Last month,
1 who will go to the black market. 2 and how can say black market will survive by now.
Last month your kwaboso kind ekoye happy on wheels. Yene aboso kind for spare parts association secretary ekasai. This question came up. She admitted say all transfers cannot to the next bank there problem be any ho. Now, challenge in say per dollar in free bank. There was a government rep on the program who said, say, sir, and no dear, I bind the policy about say NCBM. Say $1 dollar every bank, no. The policy about say it won't happen again. But the traders admit to say or transfer free Ghana. And they are called receiving bank no country no kofanya mana. Ni headache biya. The bank is able to transfer the money for them. But challenge when they have come say Obaba be per dollar physical cash, the banks won't get for you because Bank of Ghana policy said they won't allow it anymore.
Good. So that is what I'm saying is if they can transfer dollar to people, right, easily
through the banking
system. One, then a lot of importers per complaints now that complaints wouldn't have arisen in the first place. Are they already when they are cheaper because 10 point something against 12 point something? Over $1 million and you get it at this rate. Look at the savings you are going to make. However, if that again is true, why would somebody need dollar in the country? Because after all, Minister already budget, or see this time around, dollarization, they won't allow it. Is that not it? And even that one, since MPP's time, I've been clamoring, say, why must our transactions within the country be in dollars? South Africa, you go, last me catch you, Saudi, who this dollar is on?
What do you mean?
South Africa, African country. Rwanda. Those places, when you go, they'll show you where to go and change it. Oh, change your passport. There should be a form of idea.
So it's a good policy.
No, it's once if that is the case, say you can't get it, and that's a new policy, which I think you are drawing my attention to. That definitely is a good policy because if the transfer is smooth and it is dollar they need here, once you are within your country there, really you have a tough time convincing me, say, oh, here dollar they acquire BB within I don't get it. What I say, because whether we like it or not, this issue has plagued many governments.
Yeah.
NDC, MPP. One saw new year within the next minute, demand in the creating that problem. That's why, let me even use this to say, I don't even see why or what is preventing or has prevented my government and it's preventing the NDC from finding a way to neutralize the black market by letting them say, Papa Noka economics or partnership.
Yeah.
Why Ghanaians fear partnership? If there are 100 black marketers, we can say, put yourselves together and form one forex bureau. What I say, where you are licensed, Bank of Ghana or Government of Ghana can track your transaction. Then ura to do say, who the $1 million credit at their own rate, no tax. They evade the tax. So if that is the proper channel, Bank of Ghana is introducing it, definitely I'll go with it.
Okay.
And if they can even tighten it more than the way it is, I'll definitely agree to that.
You also talked about business environment being friendly and all of that.
But I'm coming to all this. What is the benefits of a best performing? Me, Bibi was setting me up.
Oh,
what's our that kind of oh, that's by the by. Listen.
Oh, it's Mrs.
Me also.
Oh, yes, when he didn't know.
I would try that me. So it's a nutrient. Let me write down my thoughts. See me cry normal. Just as almost a Bible says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? What does it profit you to have the best performing currency? Your nurses are not paid. Your teachers are not paid. Things are still expensive on the market. Okada in Amasama is not reducing. Places we used to pay 7 cedis, it's now 12 cedis in the best performing currency. It doesn't add up. Unemployment is still rising. And so you ask yourself, the best performing, what does it narrow to if it doesn't impact people?
Yeah.
President Mama in opposition was telling people that they were not, like, feeling economy in our pocket. So the best performing currency, we are not feeling it in our pocket.
Okay.
People want to me catch them say, transportation first, baby a okono. Taxi be a now for last year. Eco fee be say 50 cedis, and now taxi be a ranu. This year, Uko I see cedi na performance or due 40 cedis. What be that? Market neko hwe nyama ebo bayre ni nyama bo baby a edru. I won't talk about seasonal things like plantain. I need them say seasonal. We see currently eduane a yeto na yeto 7 cedis, 8 cedis, and then we better just 15 Ghana cedis. In best performing currency, we should have been seeing those things coming down.
That's it. Literally, I mean to you on this same matter, President Mahama saying say Yensiden is the best performing in this world.
Bibi meda say na mesha shaka say aban papa ba.
Okay.
And I'm not the one saying it. People are feeling it. Say there is good governance in the system. First of all, the way now interrogating no. Mankasampu ankeye. Esan say Bibi, first of all, say people who said say review means cancellation. No? I wasn't surprised. Say they were trying so much hard to even explain what the president actually said. You see, Mampenyin was clear. And the economists explain quite well. Say there are two tangents of the whole thing. Volatility, bisano. The city was so volatile to the extent, say, now in Jan and ISO. As we speak now, you don't need anybody to tell you, say, the city is now stabilized. It's a fact, and he knows it.
Massage.
You see, or can say be about massage, no? And because
Artificial.
if it's artificial, why didn't they do it? They sat there for the city they took to go to about 17 cities.
But you know, Governor Addison talked about this.
Thank you.
Or can say, your per se city, no, or influencing the mayor 1-to-1, obetimi aye. But the chira some on the economy.
You see,
the former governor said this.
Manima fe tu in le femo. Se betimi aye.
And chira some
my Bibi, before I go to the president's issue, no. This week, yet good news. I think 19th of August. Enra.
Then you see.
The good news was that government pays 9.7 billion coupon under the domestic debt exchange program.
This is about the fourth tranche.
The fourth tranche. And that is something to tell you, say, the government is really working.
I didn't start the payments.
Bibi.
But our mom creative problem no started to.
Thank you.
You have only come to add on.
You see,
one
can creative problems.
Or ask a permission to mention something.
No, let me what digression.
Let's
stick to the topic.
One can solve creative problems.
Some concessions.
Creative problems. Now, also now before I go to the issue, yes, so many inconsistent statements you heard him say. I think you must correct it. Okay, I say NDC is quoting black market prices.
You were quoting
black market prices. That is not true. That is not true. The exchange rate at the banks and then you quote it. Yes, we're not quoting black market prices. Baby, you are the media person here. The prices we were quoting, see the code do 17 cedis to $1. No. It was not black market. It was the rate at the exchange rate that we were quoting there. That is highly inconsistent. Secondly, Osanso can say NDC are buying in as much as the CD is rising no, and affecting Niema. And that is also not true. Bibi. Thank you. Because of the CD becoming very strong, you know, there are prices of some goods are above form. We share with reference to appliances, electrical appliances, most of them are coming down. There are some that even advertise in the media. And because of that, Bibi, I think just about a month or two ago, fuel prices back from no, affected total affairs. It did. So to say an affectation, you know, I think it is not also true. In as much as you hope, if the prices go down, it can affect almost all items, you know. That is why you must talk about regulating prices on the market. Because there are people on the market, what can you do? But the fact is that if there are laws that regulate prices, say, ubetum, abra maybe fuel price, now I think Bibi,
you don't need law. Say, if a NEMA indicators are you, anything to go by, just allowing the market forces to interact, forcing people to reduce their prices. Because this is what I'm seeing. Just this week, good for the Eba Bontini say, Omoma traders are no almost so multimenti or NEMA because almost old stock. 60 days. Almost to say within 60 days, a trader should have made a round trip in terms of name of Kofa buy what's Teneka. Into almost 60 days. Now this is the catch. So if after 60 days, Okofa AC remote to buy, and I will say a old stock into into swap. Within the 60 days, no, Obi so Kokofa AC remote in buy or the current exchange rate in a pricing. Into Nadia no form soon. Until you can continue to say ukra old stock and still charge the old price. People will go and buy the new reflected price. Until the market forces will force you to.
I agree perfectly with you. You see, if the president is telling investors, say they should come to Ghana and invest, because Ghana CD is performing very well, I think I agree with him. There are so many things I'll outline here today. Ghana has become a friendly hub for investors. You see, just from this year, Maybe when them say the dollar is doing very well from the 17 cedis. I suppose it's doing so well. I suppose economic wasted. EFA free. I think about 4 cedis and about 17 cedis. And it's clear investors will have their money's worth. Maybe fuel price is what from 17 cedis to what? To 12.88 cedis. And that is a fact. And if business will thrive, you know, it's a business to thrive with what? With the fuel prices.
Fuel was not 17.
It wasn't 17. What was the price of fuel? What was the price of fuel?
I think around 14. The liter was 14. It wasn't
17.
Stop. The exchange rate was 17, but not the fuel price.
Baby, if you have the evidence to prove this, I'll concede.
But why do you keep doing that? Once we say something, you say we should produce.
Never bought a liter of fuel for 17.
No, so you should rather produce. You said it.
The heckling is becoming too much. Please allow.
Until we're normal. And I'm a personal experience. Obusa me na me dem me to fuel ni bi. Man to a liter of fuel for 17 cedis.
And we never left it at 17.
Thank you very much. 14. I concede. 14. Okay. The public debt in Ghana has also reduced by 150 billion Ghana cedis.
As a result of exchange rate.
But it's a fact. And all these things show that Ghana's economy is doing very well and business can come in and invest. So if the president is calling on partners to come in and invest in Ghana, I think this thing is also doing so well. GDP appreciated from $75 to over 130 billion.
$75?
Yes. $75 billion to about $130 billion.
Okay.
And that is also showing, the economy is doing so much well. And I think, what we can do as a country, as the economic said, we should be able to ensure a lot of public-private partnership. Because I believe that people cannot do the businesses alone. When they are able to partner other agencies, it will create more jobs. And I think, if the economy is doing well, and the government is inviting people to come in and invest, we should be able to create the enabling environment for them to be able to thrive.
Create the enabling environment. Now let me ask.
Yeah.
It is good. Inflation is coming down. From 23, we are doing 13. Yeah. Government projected said by the end of the year we'll be doing single digits. That's a very good sign. But the other side near interest rate, cost of credit, was ropa. And just as Dr. Nunu was wondering, you know the impact of positive signs on the economy on cost of credit. But you know himself cost of credit and one of the major headaches of investors. You bet me any investors with this kind of exchange interest rate, Anna.
You see, Bibi, we know you are perfectly. Because you see, most businesses thrive on credit.
Yeah.
Obeji abaying bosian, after say obeji the businesses. And I think it is one thing you must all look at. Because you see, when you bring the foreigners in here to come and do business, how can the locals also be able to compete with them? Because the locals, say foreign has access to credit. They will bring the thing to Ghana.
Yeah.
They'll be able to reduce their prices, sell and still make profit. And I think they should have a roundtable discussion.
Okay.
At least the banks must come in. Government must also be in there to ensure, creditor, the locals can also have access to it to be able to open their businesses up.
Yeah.
And I believe strongly, with the current finance minister we have and the current EMT we have in place, they are going to ensure, the cost of credit will come down. In as much as we're not seeing it now, at least the government is just 8 months in power. So we are hoping and praying, going forward, the cost of credit can come down for businesses to thrive. Because you see, if we don't have businesses opening up in Ghana, and we are only ensuring, the youth who leave school, those who learn skills, will all come and depend on government. Government alone cannot employ.
That's true.
And I believe, if you are it shouldn't only be even Japan people. Government must ensure, we extend our tentacles outside to other European nations, the Americas, and what. So they will all come in here. Into almost be businesses now. At least, maybe them say the government can also tax those businesses, rake in money into the economy for us to be able to thrive. And when you say, now they compare what the previous government did, where businesses were not able to thrive so much well. Now they compare what is happening now with the exchange rate, with the GDP, with inflation now. But I believe, so going forward, we'll have a lot of businesses in here and they'll be able to thrive.
Bibi.
Come on in.
Suddenly, NDC narrative are changing.
Okay.
And then economic management team, why not heady?
Minim nipa heady, but say obviously he's a vice president.
He's a vice president. Good. So, and then ono ankasa kasa no say ohwe discussions e wo we a too forcing. And then say economy na e kɔ yi a yɛmfa ato forcing. And okay, we be am coin here ato is forcing.
That's true.
But this was the same NDC years back, and that's a few years back. Obviously, economy no, and kwe there. May finance minister so boy from Dr. Mahmoud Bamia. You see the hypocrisy and double standard. So you see, when you are in opposition, your language is different, and some of us understand why. Because Dr. Bamia is the most impactful vice president they've seen. And they say, your vice president, a woman na TV flashing back. Now, okay about cost of credit, and Bibi, Osaka Bibi about some of our Ghanaian individuals and our businesses are thriving very well. In every country, no, you were protectionist way be a policy be I was say a state adopted, and I think that one, both political parties, if it is NDC, they have the numbers, they can make that law, because we cannot just open our markets just like that.
Yeah.
Japanese,
especially with President proposing CBE minimum capital requirements in the GIPC Act.
And look right there, West.
Dangerous.
Obi awa China, Japan, okoji creditor
for
1%, 0 point BB. Into an urban, there's no pressure on him or her. And who already you are struggling. Scanner okoji yebe 1 million cedis. O the 2 and 1 week and 1 month. Unya who baby who invested then can start eating free because unim so who be I will Chinese no ono ba feasibility studies to crack 6 months crow grace period be when the pressure be and so since it's who san koye bibisa na you should find a way. What was sometimes because of the international community no people who cross a ubet me and say cover to protect your people. I be as a uyamra na ebe sia international laws are, but you can find a way. Say, look, as for pharmaceutical, as for agri and other sector, they look.
They protect you.
Obi be rem na so a foreigner. Hey, wa who say written law e wo ba wa who say obre.
You can't survive there.
In sorry ko America
we have to do that.
And UK na ka say register company. Ubedi mrabia so ba so long as omu passport, omu say we are and no be na be ka say give up. What I say, they will tell you, say, no, maybe you have to do ABC for 6 months, for 1 year. They know you don't have time. They will delay you. So, I'm minding where before I friend investors, maybe a Japanese house, they say, they will come, they will create jobs. But the kind of jobs are on creating, now established pharmaceutical industries, names be a yenimo more, intimate body, yenimo, they may end up wobbling.
Yeah.
Because or the scab, wabe say no, ahano, misumi are interested in pharmaceutical. So let me come and push somebody outside from that market. Because ono Japanese and not Chinese no say or cranium from America and any other country apart from any home country, any raw material. The way na yebe treatino because of a relationship at one, you say to even enter the country, maybe a visa restriction point, trade partnership, maybe a waivers be. So some of them can decide to route omu product through their home country.
Yeah.
Not their baha. Maybe from direct to America, maybe a tariffs no own to me. So the bottom line I'm saying is that we should find a way to safeguard our own people before we still go out there to call on more people to come and join. Because Kakrana or Martin Fifra with the challenges omu faces still omu jina omu nine so if you find investors. And these Chinese when they are coming, they are very strategic. They know where to come and hit you hard. If the likes of let me name brother Kasa.
Fortunately, this is the Japanese.
Yeah, me can't. You know so many now to say. Oh, but when it comes, you see,
business is different.
Business first countries in power doing say almost socialist touch to the Sanka China and what's by and Yamani Bia no socialism in Tanka was say and what's on. But when say they say a profit driven.
Yeah. So
no be ya to the extent say I to say almost this is a binum airport ni we because
police
of
station, you know,
you understand? So and then anyone who share socialism ni full capitalism. Me 1 million be shema menya he. Anka oba be too good. Or no socialist on himself say environment. And anka no point. So you share from that angle. Not mean you can say even a country like UK cry struggle with Chinese.
Of course.
Say all the Chinese the UK abandoned. Omo di nyama na eba na omo taxi because they've seen say only no computer nye ye. But one, ensure say standard no dey ban. I think you made mention of standard. Make sure say standard near quality so that any pay say no be computer or the fabric na taxi. But me ni krakra na me can say I'll come back to the language of the common person. Common person never be say city ne perform me koto dokunu say dokunu 7 cities. A move from 5 cities to 7 cities. There are places now. So I'm using cities. Have I talked about dollar?
Yeah, but say you the city na to dokuno.
Oh, see, the city is the best performing. One can say the dollar is the best performing. Is that not what the president said?
But the best performing, you are taking it out of context.
Oh. I'm saying I'm speaking the language of the common person. Common person, yeah, ukika GDP ni sanyama on tias yo.
Just uni madie ne pa.
No.
But so kasama obi tias yo for na.
But yo, Bibi,
Ghana 40 semna si o.
Tiene me kano.
Eya mamu nye mistake for say
Ghana 40 nyama ni biasia ankomo anko dada kokofo. And catch them say omo 6,000 only to come and give the 120. So let me speak the language of the common person. Which is say o GDP o inflation o den
what is your pocket saying?
Me kwa abontia ama sama kenke no akwa 7 cities. Ne krakra no teacher trainees omo abonti any next and minister or see we have about 70,000 health workers who are unemployed to the extent say about 13 countries. Someone negotiate with some 13 countries to see the way they can. I don't know if it is right way to say to export them.
Export.
Basically.
Export labor.
So the bottom line is, nurses now my age for 8 months. I ain't your mukano. Best performing city, you should pay them. That's the bottom line. Unemployment is rising. You are still sacking people. You said you were coming to do one job, 3 shifts, 3 people. Instead of adding, you are sacking. That is what the Ghanaian person wants to hear.
Me da say Jama washing powder seven camfo ma weekend you be see niema. The only washing powder I recommend ya ma Jama budget friendly ne bo form enche na epu ahuro ombre kra na ne emede omuni say eya me nsum kwada ne ntade no because o Jama emfa ho ni fi atade na ye ebe yi efi ni nyina eno ne say e wo multi enzyme stain removing formula. Regardless of the stubbornness of the stain, Jama ebete eyi efri hono mo kra. It will give you the best of washing experiences. Until grab your Jama washing powder from any shop near you and enjoy the quality washing experience. The emede wo munso ne say Jama ehwem. To the senior mana one you super perfume kro water di mu a, you are good to go. Jama ebu is your partner for clean clothes. Now, there is Akwetia and there is Ridge Hospital. I think these are the last two topics. Nitrin, Minister si achini panibi. Ewo omomukoye gidi wo Ridge Hospital. Where total allegedly a nurse was assaulted, phone was stolen, a sister crown so yiraye and all of that. Minister Simu Baya near a nurse of any tuani say. Akwaye obetiantia yen bebu yi na minister and then Saturn inside your massive session see na minister when you brepa no abaha and any po di boni so sane ne sisi and they say we yama wo and then akosu
Bibi
ade okwa na was minister bem
you see young fan from this angle yen share your government hospitals anyhow sometimes almost treaty patients
okay.
Na yenhwe ade a Ralph any those young guys ni koye no. First of all, I will condemn in certain terms. The omokoye in a sense say uhwemu here at a point there was some unlawful entry. Yes. There was an incident na obi ho aka. Na wenya accident.
Yeah.
Na Ralph no say nsaso wenya problem wo ho. I believe that I was a civil in driving home our demands.
Yeah.
Esan say the Ralph ekoye no. He may have an issue. with regards to how nurses and doctors treat patients in government hospitals. But the approach was wrong. Because se oko obi ayaresabia abampo the rich hospital. Now o try say intimidate the nurses, the doctors on duty here. They have no right frame of mind to be able to discharge their duties. Exactly. Secondly, Ocean so na emuda ward honoma is their privacy. Obi o honoma.
Also emergency unit.
Thank you. Or honoma crampo and person be who say wako hospital and be bisa. Now the camera see usu a no. I think is condemnable, and that shouldn't happen again. Maybe some questions me say Greater Accra Regional Hospital. Now any police for honoma security for honoma.
For hospital security and
yes.
Almost said that for private security.
And where were they when this thing was happening? No more honoma. How did they allow those other guys to also enter?
Yeah.
First of all, Ralph Nehwaka and the other guy too was lying there and see him. But the other about 10 or 20 guys who entered, no. How did they enter? And what were their demands? Yeah. Investigation must go on. Because say you are doing your lawful work. Now will be attacking, be it assaulting you, verbally assaulting you, I think say enya de papa. But I'll look at the bigger picture. Okay. Bibi, many unyina ko government hospitals. Yen share can sometimes the health sector no edemaye. Most of the time the nurses.
Hospital security be in general. Makubi o share brown.
You see, almost for services no. Makobe be da me who say there was an emergency. Enough in a visa for the person's card. Meaning say there are bureaucracies as to how you must go through the process, provide your card, your NHIS card, folder. But the thing is that when there are emergencies, as a card, yes, the card is very important for your health records. But say maybe means be a it was say preventing the blood from oozing out. No, what will my card do to prevent that blood from oozing? And I think say this particular issue, no, it will say a bigger picture and say the stakeholders must have a discussion. Then can say issue no normal issue, normal checkup, routine checkup. The card is
life-threatening.
And then life-threatening. The card is needed. I show history. But if it's a life-threatening issue, what fainty when a crisis be, we should put aside the card issues. Yenji panem kwansa and sacrifice card number. Maybe there are issues also about some necessary. When they are on duty, they are on their phones. Many people have come out and they have, been able to corroborate this particular story. Last meeting, I seen been a hamiye pa member hospital needing. A certain man was saying that they require operation and a surgery in a hospital. But the doctors and nurses negligence into ye just some surgical operation material born ye from or by fear for almost a month or two. And you see, a dear issue about life and death, ne dear. There was a share near to me, Swano. Bibi, I think, sir, last time, me who, na me were parliament that day, and I mean, who said, Ralph, virtually harassing sticker. The MP was entering the House of Parliament, and the guy removed his phone, taking pictures and videos of him. Our cancer and be. You see, sometimes, man, my politics, and the name can so much. And good penny for him here. Thank you. Because their course, I expected the parliament secretary to arrest that guy. Because after all, unim de channel. And what Ben MP na ultra this particular picture and videos, The person has his own privacy. And I think that time Stika was very, very composed.
Yeah.
Because who they call here an MP like Mimbodia, he may not be able to take it lightly with you.
What to me about Stika there body?
Oh, there be Stika.
NDC MPs, 100 and here, he not
Stika there no.
Even I can mention an NP.
But you didn't know about Bonnie. idea NC.
Thank you.
It may not be fair to the person.
You see,
Because you don't know what the person. You
Uh,
know how the person will
will
react
to
if
it.
Anke or not.
You see, there
It's
are
dangerous to mention.
there are
the name.
there
That
are
would not be fair.
there are MPs on your side that they wouldn't have taken that.
Okay, we say, Kamadina Kadekoya na kwa power.
You see,
That is not in your name.
thank you. And I think that to pick a camera in such an environment, not all filming, and the way he was speaking, you see, he was so aggressive to the extent that if a hospital staff, maybe he would have reacted.
But he's accused of hitting a nurse.
I'm back into the cameras and the pictures. Thank you. And maybe he may deny it. But I wouldn't be surprised, and could be retaliated, and he will actually have maybe pointed.
But this is the same guy who threatened to beat a street hawker in the open. Because we say, omo ye baller, omo ye fi okwan no ho. And also, ye pon a ye pransa na ya kofi. You are insisting so omo sisa. And a lady ni you and one also can be na wampe. And until so be bona sum, obe bono, and what's your phone so, and you are calling on other road users to sort of be on your side, and it's getting one too many. I mean,
it's about time when people who
who
speak so harshly and they behave in an unruly manner, we must call them out. Because our country will become a country where lawlessness is thriving.
Yeah.
Because I agree perfectly with the necessary midwifery council said he must be arrested.
Yeah.
Where I disagree with them is someone minutes an ultimatum. You see, they know the guy.
That's what Ukrainian minister said.
Thank you very much.
Now, hospital administration, no more anything.
You know the guy. Minister doesn't, ensure arrest. You go to the police and report. Say, Obi, a breaking into a facility.
Sir.
Wabe ABC.
Sir.
He has assaulted somebody.
Mama no hospital form.
Thank you. And we say as NMC, counselor, people will read meanings into it. So I'm buying, I think, 48 hours ultimatum. Say, if the guy is not arrested, you will take action.
They are doing so because of Nano Asem.
Yeah.
The way the minister himself took on the Tamale Teaching Hospital CEO, the backlash that came and all of that. Until I say, a BSc pain. And so, we so sense, I can understand their frustration.
A BAC pain, a BSc, the issues are too different.
Okay.
Until you can't base on what happened in Tamale and ask.
One is the minister himself launching more of a verbal attack.
Among also, there were issues with the minister hugging the young man in public.
Yeah.
Bibi, if it is me, I wouldn't have hugged the guy. But I think, sir, if you...
I said, Dr. Bamia said,
that one that's not responsible.
What
was that now? He's
completely different. Let me explain to you. You
are diplomatic.
This particular young guy has been charged by the court.
Okay.
I am on the bail. Raf has not been arrested even yet. He has not been charged.
The conduct. Why hack somebody who has done that?
Thank you.
Who endorsing?
I'm saying that, Bibi, if it is me, I wouldn't have hacked the guy.
Will you describe his hag as irresponsible?
Let me tell you the difference between this and Baumia's issue. I wouldn't describe that as irresponsible because, you see, this guy has not been arrested. He has not been charged. These are mere allegations on him. No charge has been given to him. I was careful to say, sir, the assault issue has not been captured on camera. We didn't see it. And it is an allegation on him. You're charging here. Into the minister hugging him, I wouldn't have done it personally, but I feel say or hugging the critical impression.
Assaults are in different forms.
Yes.
We have verbal.
In this video,
the lady is showing some abono.
Yes. And in this video, we see verbal assault.
Yeah.
And the alleged physical assault.
Thank you.
So you don't need to be arrested before you get evidence of an assault.
And the people to have CCTV camera.
And for the minister to have come there, means that as somebody a high stake issue.
I'm sure the minister
then he comes to rather hug the man.
Been informed about it. BBS in Tiombra. Is it Bibi who shows said there's an assault? It's the law. It's not about what you see. You
perfect.
As I say, who will tell us there's an assault? He must be arrested. Put before a court, and the court will charge him. It's two different things. Say Kamadin and Tiasia is different. This boy has not been arrested. But I think that generally, Bibi, we can earlier, it opens up the issue. Personally, I took someone to the hospital, and that person sat there for almost 10 hours. Now, it's like there is protocol even in the hospital. For so many hours. Now, Nimpanasu is in pain. And I think that this is the hard way we are learning. In some say, Koso. Guy in ABA about some of these things. So the approach he used was very wrong. You must condemn. As I say, people also go there and do the same thing. I have so many friends who read Okada because of my constituency.
Then make this your last point for me.
And you see, there is something I say no cry. I'll say, Yejai. Those are Shukura boys, our Zongo boys. You know, most of them are using the Okada.
Yeah.
Sometimes they tell me, say, Omoko Hospital no prayer. In film because the doctors and nurses say they cause nuisance in town. And see, I know 2 boys are I'm not a medical doctor. I don't know if they could have been saved without they cutting their legs and amputating them. But the impression is that when you have any minor injury, be now a banner say Okada issue, 1 year, your leg will be amputated. If this is true, then it's so much wrong. I think this might have been the reason why they felt, say, guy in an accident, you know, he has been left there unattended to.
Okada accident.
And I believe, say, we must open the bigger, discussion.
Yeah.
The interest, say, when these things are there and it is true, we should be able to deal with it going forward.
And I think, sir, you've mentioned it, and it brings into sharp focus. And then come on, many production team needed about this conversation, and Sana Yeba said there appear to be some training gaps. Meaning, say, our nurses and doctors are well trained. But say you call hospitals now, towards emergencies. We all watch foreign movies. We watch a friend is saying,
telenovelas now.
ER, emergency room movies and all of that. And we see how our nurses being doctors be your in some jurisdictions. Now we say card, will be a pra number, most one card near the elsewhere. Before the ambulance gets there, Nipano, the basic info, the DNA age, the height, sometimes in the blood group is communicated. In a free ambulance, ambulance service for no will still relay that information to nurses now a receiver no. And the reason is that you can't just start a commence treatment when you don't have any information about the person. Because sometimes you need the dean to wake him up, to engage him, to stabilize him. And sometimes when they tell you, say, won't go through the formalities, sometimes I understand.
Bibi, I can't 8 minutes. Bibi, I'm going to start on the basis. Say. No, I'm going to start on the basis. Say. And then, once you are charged, then basically you are guilty. Meanwhile, the law says that you are presumed innocent. Is that not it?
In fact, in this case, once you are arrested.
He said in the difference.
He has not even been arrested.
He said he's not
arrested.
I'm coming. He said he's not been arrested. He's not been charged.
Yeah.
But who says that if you are charged, it makes you guilty?
At all.
No. Who says that if you are charged? No. There's no at least. Please. You didn't allow. No. You didn't allow me. Please. I won't allow you. You didn't allow me. Please correct the law. There is no law in Ghana that says that when you are charged, you are guilty. At all. So if Fanti Comedy was charged, it doesn't make him guilty until the court pronounces him guilty. Because you can be charged and the court will go into the case and prove you're not guilty. So true. So don't get you sat here based on the fact that Fanti Comedy was charged. You call Dr. Baume irresponsible. Very, very you have another minister hugging a bully
who has not been arrested.
It's arresting and saying who said you are
sir, because of it's not been arrested
entirely, sir.
But why you condemn me?
No, why the minister hugging him?
No,
you are justifying it.
Allow me to flow
because you're
Member over 10 minutes will flow
because he has not been arrested.
He has not been arrested. He has not been charged.
Bibi,
go ahead.
The minister has behaved extremely irresponsible. Extremely irresponsible. I'm telling you. But let me start it. I'm not going to look at the way nurses handle patients. This is not on the board. This is not the issue on the board. When it comes, we look at the conduct of nurses.
That is what caused all the mess.
I say when it comes, we look at what is on the board is Ralph, who has behaved irresponsibly, The guy behaves like Ghana belongs to him. He behaves like he's a Brahmin. In the Indian caste system, he's top there, above the law. And the law says that not even the president is above the law. This Rav guy...
But I don't even say
this Rav guy, few days before incident...
So don't teach you, baby.
Why do you say last minute?
This
Rav guy, few days before incident, he see na video sinina. Billboard of Dr. Baumia, na wako bringi billboard down. It's yet a billboard. So the billboard is the property of the party. You cannot even deface a poster, talk less of a billboard.
When authority
this guy did it, nothing. He's working freely.
I
believe, say, Nyamani biwa IGP. So Obama poster, then did somebody inform him? They saw it and they arrested him. You them allow me to flow. This same Rav guy, last year when they were demonstrating, Tiasema Okaye, when he blocked access to 37 military hospital, when they said, see, mwa bebre na ewa Ghana, enti se ebi wa na ye den. Wo emwa nu unka ho. Enti wusu wa na ye den.
Be the first one.
Wo dia upe treatment. Wo wa na ye den. You can't tell me. The fact that this guy has even said that emwa bebre, he has included you.
Civil human
don't even defend something like this. Don't even sit on radio to defend this guy. Or is it because of his NDC affiliated? It is even an insult for him to say Emwa bebre wa Ghana. To mean what? Why are you going to seek medical attention? What will Ghana lose? Our ministers of state have lost their lives through a gory way. The country has started moving on. A whole president died in office. The country is moving. If Raf dies, where are we going? Isn't a part of them wannabe. But I'm quoting his own statement.
So no pay medical attention.
No medical attention. No
block 37. Say emwa wu ana na then no the one train wu. You say no, you don't behave like that.
This minister should have shown his resentment immediately the guy approached him.
Yes.
And to also tell that don't even get close to me because you are a nuisance to society. That's the behavior. That's what I'm saying. He behaved extremely reckless and irresponsible. And this guy, I'm surprised that the IG and the police service are still having difficulty arresting this guy. And then, meet a minister, interview minister. The word that this guy will be arrested, mentioning the guy's name, minister. And I'm saying, if this is rough, you cannot even mention his name. Meanwhile, the people who you are superintending, nurses, their interest should be paramount.
Yeah.
Look, in certain professions, before you ever call into the case, say anybody are right or wrong, first they will protect the person.
Yeah.
What was next? The bottle, me see, to quite touch a citizen of a certain country. By the time they even go into the nitty-gritty, you are behind bars or you are deported before they even go into the person's case. So don't let us behave as if say this guy can just pick a phone and go, look, some of the people were begging him that.
Yeah. Charlie, don't film me.
Yeah, don't film me. People say, no, as if say he has the right over everybody because phone are cheap.
Your friend impunity.
I like that word.
Impunity.
I like that word. For guy who watch Togo, na share say you no bet me Togo higher. Me nka baby bia. So look, let us not make it partisan and for this guy to continue misbehaving. If you want to create content, there are ways you can create your content. You don't abuse people in the name of say creative content. Look at even now see Okobu trader. Even the word say me book assault.
Yeah.
You can be arrested for that.
Say I'll be me boo. Who are you?
In some countries, verbal abuse crack landi will be in jail. And I believe Ghana verbal abuse crack enye. So I can't sit on radio. I will threaten someone.
And the person he was threatening to beat is a young girl.
Look, in serious country, first, this guy will need psychological assessment.
I think so.
Maybe.
Maybe my put you on record.
Let me see where because time has soon.
The behavior of Raf is condemnable.
Okay.
I have put it in perspective. Say ye giant on kwanka say the rate at which our nurses and doctors also behave. Some behavior will also not be making a very good point. And what I'm saying is that the approach was wrong. is condemnable.
You have said that one. You are just repeating. It's 6 o'clock news.
Bibi,
It's 6 o'clock.
Bibi should be arrested and charged.
But you see, the NDC
the laws must
is
take
my
it
time.
course.
I'm taking my time.
Raf has not said it's NDC. What he did, no NDC.
Raf said, "Oh yeah, NDC." I hear send any papa send there. No, a former MC under the NDC.
Okay, but the papa na ne nyon.
What say? Na so waja tum so NDC. As at the last time I misbehavior and Nanado ni. I say,
he never said
NDC.
What say?
It's false.
He's NDC, please.
And
I'm pay membership.
Oh, you can't say
news as outcast.
But is he a familiar face to the NDC?
Oh, I know him. And I'm saying, NBA bigger picture.
I get your point.
For us to discuss about
the
character of nurses and doctors.
Before we started. Is it confirmed the contractor is on site?
Oh, yeah, me free will be. Or catch him say, I think Enro. So Enro from Enro. Also, one earth machines be and our friends says I'm
earth moving.
Good, earth moving machine.
Kawadi medase, Nitrin medase, na yedi meda mi team na se Joel Fode Sanko, Jimaima, Ato, Akato, Adeng, Adato, Jimaima, Adato, and Joyce. Joyce nso de no cry edian a. Joyce name Afenyua, Akumenyua, boy. Nkombe bie. Ene misumi de Bismark Brown. Ije mu diama entwibu asia kwene na pamfo omu de nunsia kase bone breyen